Part of life. Part of life.
You know, it's really funny. Ironic, not really funny.
Yeah, I like it.
But I actually did come across that post, and like you said, I'm kind of on and off about reading things. And I happened to just happen to about specifically, I'm like, oh, this is kind of
I like it.
weird because like it was that some things some people said to me, and like one other thing that was happening. It was just like one thing after another was in the same kind of mindset.
It's been a weird week.
Yeah, like
Been a weird week.
They had a talk. It like our meetings are usually like, this is where you go, you know. And then they actually said something in the meetings like, be nice to each other. It's like, okay, what happened? I'm actually like, okay.
No, this is like how it went. All right, guys. Don't. I don't think I have to say this, but. And get stuck in the back because the back doors won't open, and you have to call somebody out to have someone let you out of the back of the patrol unit. And I'm just like, at the minute I raise my hand, I always do. I'm like the pain in the ass. Like, they're like, Dobson, sir, wouldn't it be easier just to talk to the person that actually did that stupid shit?
So true.
I mean, it wouldn't be like that, but it would be something like equally stupid, and you're like,
It's funny.
just tell the people. That's the other problem too. The person that you're talking about, they're the kind of person that doesn't realize you're talking about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Like, you need to bring them in and go, Bill, you are a horrible, horrible officer. You should have never been a police officer.
Well, and
ever."
I think in specialized jobs like that, there has to be a little bit of
They
like,
do that at my mom's post office work too.
you know, there's got to be a flavor to it. There's got to be a little bit of candor in the
Like-
discussion, or else you're actually putting people's lives at risk.
Thank you. And
You know,
they're like the worst person in the world. And you're like, I don't want them on my scene. I used to have a guy I worked with that I always tried to treat people with respect. And if they gave respect, I'd give them more respect. You know, okay, I need to interact with this person. I interact with them. You know, like I got six gangbangers. I got them sitting on the sidewalk. They're all cool, right? We're shooting the shit. I'm getting their info and stuff.
I got
Here comes this dude. Dick. Makes them all pissed off. He shows up to my scene, ruins it, gets these guys all hot and bothered and pissed off, and I go. So after a while,
new guy, old guy.
had more time on than me. And I was like, nope. And he'd be like, I'll be in route. No, 22, I'm code 4. I could be out with 15 guys. So one time I was literally out with 15 guys. And I'm like, no, 22, I'm code 4. And the sergeant came over and he's like, dude, you're not code 4. And I go, and I explained to him what's going on.
Yeah.
I go, no, I'm not going to get into use of force because this guy causes these guys to jump us. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's safer for me to be me and these guys to be them, and that guy doesn't show up.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, if you get into something really good, you call me and I'll come out. And I said, okay.
And those are the kind of conversations that we're losing out on.
Oh,
those
yeah.
are the conversations that are becoming more rare because people
Right.
are too afraid to have those conversations.
Right.
You know.
Right.
It's one of the
We're
reasons
too
why I
afraid
love
to
playing
offend.
this game so much. Is it reminds us how important improv is, and like reading other people's emotions and using your mind to adapt to
Or
situations.
thinking quickly, yeah. Have your mind be more adaptive to the changing situations of the world.
Like panicking and running from the blacksmith because you recognize someone's trying to catch you.
Yeah. Unless that's your character. Then you panic and run. If that's your character. Now, if you're playing like a barbarian,
Oh my gosh, I love playing my barbarian. She's psycho.
then no. Then don't run.
I've really enjoyed watching Mara play two totally different characters, you know? Just watching her go from this very thoughtful, methodical,
right.
organized blood hunter
Right.
who's just like, you know, married to a master spy, and she gets the whole idea of politics, to Feltish, where she's in, I'm just going to run up there and just punch him in the face.
There's a blood trail. I follow it. I follow the blood trail.
To the terror engine. Let's go.
It just shows that everybody's got multifaceted personalities.
I follow
The game get some of those out.
These are
multifaceted, multi-fucked, sure, whatever you want to use.
We're exercising our
I
multiple
know.
personality
You know,
disorder.
I
Wait.
don't know. I think
Spicy.
Uh-oh, are they spicy?
Oh yeah.
I think Tobias is getting close to a nervous
You-
breakdown.
Do you want to switch it out for something else if they're too spicy?
Wait, you got the green sauce to go with it?
No.
Is it the sauce or
The
the...
packets?
I'll go so sauce.
It didn't have
Well,
the green.
try it without the sauce next time. The
The
next
green
one, try without
sauce is supposed to
if
be
it
really like it's got
Because you can
mint
just
in
go
it,
get
so
balsamic, and just have something
You can
to
dip
it
them
with.
in sour cream.
Or hummus. We've got hummus back there. Love hummus.
Just like
I love how you can make hummus so easily. It's ridiculous how easy it
Isn't
is.
it like chicken
chickpeas.
dough? Oh, chickpeas.
It's basically you get a blender or a food processor,
olive oil and chickpeas.
olive oil, chickpeas, and salt, and then whatever flavor you want it to
Tahini.
be, whether it's like
And
red
tahini.
pepper or.
Tahini.
Do you know the difference between a gar-
I personally, I think tahini makes it not last as long because you put that extra layer of like cream and fat into it. I like it with just the bean because it lasts longer. Maybe lemon.
With cheese.
Yeah, a little lemon. Do you know the difference between chickpea and a garbanzo bean?
One tastes better.
No, Trump's never had a garbanzo bean on his face.
Chickpeas and garbanzo beans are the same thing.
Yeah.
Look at Sebastian. What's that? What's those little pockets of love? Smells good, Mom. I want it. Well, if he has our palate, this
Yeah.
kid will eat everything.
Yeah,
I really hope he does.
At least try everything.
Because my
that's one thing
youngest
about
kids right now are just
my
horrible
God, they'll-
with food.
my kids. My kids tried that shit with me one time.
Although Brielle will surprise you because she'll eat avocado, black bean,
Hard-boiled
and
eggs.
hard-boiled eggs. So it's easy enough to get her to eat protein substitutes.
Right.
But the only meat she'll eat is
Chicken
either the
nugget.
occasional turkey sandwich where it's turkey, cheese, and bread. That's it. Or chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
That's it.
My kids try to pull that crap with me when
And it's
they were little.
texture though, and that's why it's such a hard battle. It's not flavor, it's texture, and it's a
Yeah.
hard battle.
I'm going.
They'll grow into it, or they won't.
They're like, Dad, I don't want to eat this. Okay. I
And when
put
the
a-
mushroom clouds are forming across the world, you'll learn to eat just about
Right.
anything. I can assure
You'll
you.
be eating human first. The other white meat.
Long pork.
Long pork.
Honestly, I'd probably
Hang it, try it, barbecue it.
Yeah, your kids will like sit out in the middle of the road while the guy walks up to find out what's wrong with the kid, and that's when you guys like club
Yeah.
him on the head.
Honestly, I'd probably become the meal. I'm
We
quite
use the
big.
kids as
Yeah,
baby seal
yeah,
bait.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's bait.
the
Yeah,
bigger
and
people,
then
the first ones to
then they're
go.
like,
you know, we're harder.
then they're
to
like
feed,
they run
eat
over
a
and cut the
lot.
liver out.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so excited because first of all, it's game night. Happy Monday, everybody. But the main thing I'm excited for is the Tailspire Hero Forge integration came
No.
through today.
And
What?
it's gonna crash. No,
That's
kidding.
exciting.
I was shocked at how stable it was.
Really?
I was
They must have been working
shocked.
on it. To...
They did announce it as a beta, so it is a traditional beta
Yeah, yeah.
integration. So it comes with all the warnings that come with betas. But I made a cloud giant. I made Samara's character. I made your character. I'm going to work on yours next because
Okay.
Mouse Folk.
No, it's fine.
That's
You
exciting.
could actually, if you. So here's what's really.
If you give me the like login,
But here's the challenge.
Uh-huh.
So we all live in a subscription world. It's just the way the world is right now, right?
Yeah.
Now, Tailspire, what's interesting, I don't know how I honestly don't know how they make money. I understand how they think they make money, but I don't know if they understand how they make money, right? So the copy of their game can be used as either a DM or a player, right? But everybody has to own a copy to play it as a mutual campaign,
Right.
or like most of you guys do online with me, I just
Right.
show you what you see
Yeah.
and we move it. Now, I could make it a campaign,
Yeah.
and therefore you could actually have access to your figure and
And
to
you're just
shared
moving around through
environment.
the actual world.
Yeah, but there's two reasons why I don't do that. One is I don't want to force you to spend $24 on something you use one time,
Mm-hmm.
once a week. It doesn't really feel fair to me.
I feel like,
Secondly, it's a pain in the ass to sometimes watch you guys spend 30 minutes to move a single figure. And if I'm in charge, it's not going to take that long. So it's a lot easier for me to pace and manage continuity of an encounter if it's just a single shared experience. It's just more efficient that way. But, so you have to have the pro subscription with Hero Forge to be able to join the library community where you can store your files and images. But I can then go to that community and then I can purchase that digital copy or use my sub that has credits to it. And then I can put that directly in Tailspire. So you're still able to go build it. It costs you $3.99 a month, but see, there's another problem with that.
Yeah, I mean,
You could just spend the $3.99 for 1 month,
yeah.
build like 4 of your avatars that you want me to download, and then never renew again.
Yeah, renew it, right.
So there's no real incentive right now in their sub programs that make a
Right.
lot of sense for what people use it
You
for.
know what they should do is just go, each character's 99 cents.
Yeah.
Well, I think
You-
what they plan on doing,
You know,
I think, and this is
I
what I
thought you
would
said the
do.
downloads were like $7.
So the digital download is $7.99 per digital download. So technically, when you procure it through a digital download, it saves itself in a purchase file. That purchase file with my Hero Forge key and the Hero Forge key loaded into Tailspire allows Tailspire to go out to Hero Forge, grab it, and bring it directly into Tailspire. Right?
On your account.
Right. However, that digital file is still good for a 3D printer. So if you have access to a 3D printer, that file still can be
you could
used
print your own
to
character.
print your own Hero Forge. So it's
We
got
have a
some
3D
utility.
printer.
I want one, but
But we have one.
yeah, but the one I want isn't. Well, that's a whole nother story.
Okay.
But
Bigger, better, stronger.
Alan has a 3D printer. We could send them to him and he can. 3D
well,
print them.
Enigma has one too, and there's. I want to do like a whole thing where we get on one day and just we all like make 3D printed figures. I thought that would be a lot of fun.
I like to
But it's really neat because they have this thing called the community library that's beta. So really what I thought they were going to do is like come up with a flat subscription that says you have access to the community library that's made up of like 100,000 files,
Pretty cool.
right? And maybe put a monthly cap on it. You know, hey, $19.99 a month. You can max download 30 a month, and
Right.
you know, cool.
kind of like
That way,
the
if you're a
Audible
player
their
or a
books.
DM, because I went in their community library, there's like 20 new dragons I can get, and they look freaking awesome.
Do you have to download them?
Yeah, I have to download them, but I get 5 free credits per month. So with my subscription, you know, I'm kind of targeting minis that I need now, right? And
And you'll
then
get
as
them
each
every
month arises, when I don't need certain minis, I can start experimenting. You know, I love somebody built a cloud giant in the community library, and it looked beautiful. So I purchased it as one of my credits because in one of my campaigns they're about to deal with a cloud giant, and it made sense. Oh, they already know.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing too is, yeah, it's cool and everything, but then you got all
Well,
this
that's why
stuff
we
to
do
use,
print 'em.
man.
It's the healthy mix, you know, and that's why in the future I do want a 3D print when I get on Hero Forge,
Yeah.
right? Because now, you know, the
Versatility.
reason why I've been waiting to do the whole 3D printing thing is that we're very, very close to personal 3D printers being able to be colorized, you know, so that because they already have them at Hero Forge,
Yeah.
right? They have baseline colors that you can print into so that 4 or
CBG,
5
gray,
primary
or,
colors already come into existence.
Cyan, magenta, yellow, black.
Yeah. So those are common printable colors that you can now get with 3D printers. But I want to get to that point where you can do layering and blending, and as your 3D graphics tool presents a fully colorized model, it will print that way.
Yeah.
Because I hate painting. I hate painting models. Well, I got
Come on over
tons
and
of
paint.
shit for you to paint if you want to ever come in and paint.
Well, I can bring my paints and do it while we're playing.
There you
I
go.
would love that.
I have a demon
I have
that I started.
plenty of
here.
minis I can give you. If
There's
you
a
really
demon that I
love
started
painting,
behind
I
you.
will put you to work,
Look
girl.
down.
I don't know how well I would do with the
It's on the plate.
minis.
I don't
I
give
need
a
smaller
shit. You
brush.
can't do any worse than me, unless you were blind.
I
And
used to paint all my minis. I used to
Oh,
be
yeah.
pretty good.
That's the one I started.
well, but you're an artist. You had
Oh yeah.
you built that leather pouch for her.
Oh yeah. True.
Of course you
we,
can.
we can
paint
make it a
well.
painting session. We'll bring paints and we'll like.
I have
be
the
demon.
only known skill to Irish people. 2 known skills.
Drinking and
Drinking and the gift of gab.
There you
That's
go.
all I know how to do.
I have Irish in me.
Oh,
And
you
make
can do
babies.
it if you put your mind to it.
Somehow I managed to get more English in me than both
Yeah,
my
but I have a
parents,
choice.
but-
I can either spend 6 hours painting a mini or write 100 pages of content.
Yeah.
I can't do both.
He
And one of them's going to be easier than the other.
You can't do both. Daddy, you can do both.
He looks milk drunk.
that feeling, kid. I understand.
It's the sauce.
Oh, good. So the
Yeah, I
Formosa's
already got
okay.
the
It's just the
food.
sauce.
I don't know who what process
Easy
to
dinner,
you
I know.
that fast.
Well, happy
He's
Monday,
back.
everybody. We are here with Pike's Promise. We
It's the
are
sauce that's
on
spicy.
session 6.
Really?
Can't
Wow.
believe we're actually on session 6 already.
Yeah.
We
Really?
do have 2 new possible people playing, but they may play remotely with the occasional drop in. We're still working on talking to Cesare and Nick and see how we might make that work. So you might know Cesare from our Monday night games, Faerun Reborn. He also plays Omni on Debtor's Gambit. He was here with us live for our mid-season finale, which already has over 50 post views since last
Really?
night, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
I'm really hoping people will appreciate that story, because one of the episodes I screwed up on the audio file. I will be getting a recap of episode 22 or 21 up into Anchor and Podbean. I inadvertently thought I downloaded the right one. I actually downloaded a Star Wars episode by mistake.
Oops.
Published it as a Debtor's Gambit audio, and it was fucking annoying, but
Oops.
that's what happens when you do everything, by yourself and you don't pace yourself. So, but
And get enough sleep.
other than that, we've been
Yeah,
gabbing
having-
about Tailspire and
having a 3-month-old kind
eating and
Yeah.
3-month-old
sleep.
on the lap and talking about art and all the fun things that make up this wonderful, 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 wonderful game. And then we're going to talk about where we last left off.
We were supposed to.
But Laura, do you have anything to...
You're Laura? I didn't know you changed your name.
No, I was in a Croaker Roll pan.
I-
Sam, take us away.
So, what's our
What are
advertising?
they like?
I know, right?
They're like,
Hands of Mercy. This
Where
episode is sponsored by Hands of Mercy.
where the hands are quite merciful. Come in.
No, the hands are not merciful.
They are not. They will rip you apart, put you back together.
I don't know. I've had a massage.
do you want to be
here.
internally bruised?
I'm pretty snowflake because I don't like people hurting me.
I wouldn't
say
say
it.
you're a snowflake. I would say you're a delicate flower.
Yes, I'm okay
Delicate
with that.
flower that can lift her body
No
weight and more.
That's fine, but you're still a delicate flower. I have had weightlifters and bodybuilders
Yeah.
come in who were delicate flowers.
Yeah.
And they start telling me, well, I'm a wuss. And I'm like, no, honey, you're not a wuss. You're a delicate flower.
I just don't,
Bodybuilders are also delicate flowers when they get hit with tasers.
So where we last left
Everybody's
off,
really delicate,
we were
but
supposed to go
that's
convince some
wrong.
people not to that
Muscle
their bugs
mass, the
weren't
worst is.
for reals.
Yeah, 'cause
We
it's
were
all twitchy.
lying or something.
where we last left off, you guys are now in the community of Galwick.
Mhm.
And you're on a bit of a layover as the caravan heading back to Vasselheim has still another week and a half to go. So you're taking,
Oh,
you're taking a couple days here to refit, get some new wagons after the little incident with the burrow ice spiders.
And whatever the other thing was.
giant
Yeah.
maggot.
God only knows.
Last game.
Oh, the
And upon arrival at Galwick, after rescuing and aiding some others in regards to some strange wolf-like activity as well,
I did not up my charisma.
you guys had realized that the survivors of the iced spider caverns needed to be questioned. And when you went over to their campsite, you realized that something was amiss after having a conversation with a small female child that had convinced Defiant Jewel that not to trust whatever they were saying, which then prompted the discussion and the discovery that this is actually a very influential family within Othanzia and Vasselheim, the Tawny family. Their guild, otherwise known as the Tawny Guild, is responsible for a great deal of shipment and disbursement of common goods, general goods throughout the Othanzian Empire, as well as they are headquartered in Vasselheim as well. After checking out their camp, realized that the insect creatures had infested the entire camp. They puppeteered a bit and tried to escape via human form to horse form to cow form.
That hurts so bad. I'm still not feeling great.
Oh, you haven't had your long rest yet.
No.
And
But I'm
after,
a tree right now because I have a +8. I put
yes.
I'm a tree currently.
And with that, they had made some discoveries about these strange insects yet again appearing, seeming to have also been linked to the fact that the parents had fallen ill, or the Lord and Lady Tawny had fallen ill before the caravan had even set out. So some of this nefarious activity had begun long before the caravan had headed out as well. With the insects dealt with, and the guard and others dealing with the condition of the camp, the rest of you made your way back into Gawick, and I believe you're on your way to the temple to have a conversation with Lord and Lady Tawny, as you also have their niece or their daughter in tow with you, taking her back to them. It is late afternoon on the cusp of evening. The horizon is lowering. The sun is going down. You're in front of the temple. Small child in hand. What would you guys like to do?
What did you do? You were helping with something in the camp. You stayed behind to do some stuff.
Oh,
Yeah. 'Cause-
No, he took all his samplings and then decided to come along with you guys.
Okay.
I took samples, then whatever. I can't remember.
Well, I remember you were the one that was able
It was
to.
whole
a
lot of
week
stuff
ago, old
happened.
man.
If I recall correctly, you were scanning to people to make sure nobody else had
Correct.
the bugs.
Yeah, I was
inside
going
them.
along with the guards
Yep.
Mhm.
and scanning people that they thought were of interest.
And that's continuing while you two
Okay.
deliver
Oh,
the
that's
daughter
fine. Cool.
back to the
Yeah.
temple and to the
Wait,
Lord and Lady Tawny. That's
Who
right.
needs
Yep.
notes when you have memory? It's great.
Yep, that would be very correct and accurate.
I still have baby brain. Don't look at me. I take notes.
I take notes too.
Mom's
The
baby
notes
boy.
help
Oh,
me
no.
fill in the gaps of what my memory does not remember. Or
That was a great explanation.
think about it.
What my memory doesn't help me remember.
Like I don't remember names well. I don't remember places or times. You know,
How do you
those are
function?
I remember I remember emotion. I remember how I feel, and I remember.
So you have more of a didactic memory.
Yeah,
Like
I-
emotion and odor probably trigger you more often than real traditional
What was the
memory.
smell?
Oh, then you're fucked.
Oh yeah, basically. But here's the thing: I'll pick up a book that I haven't read in 10 years, and I'll be able to flip to a page where something is
Mm.
after like reading,
Oh my god.
like more pictures.
She's a witch! Burner! Burner! She's a witch!
She said she can't smell.
But
She's a witch. She's a witch.
Is she
I
weigh
have-
the same as a duck?
I just refuse to take allergy
Exactly.
medicine, guys. I just refuse to take allergy medicine.
Why
It costs
put shit
money. I
under
do
her
not want
nose
to
if it
pay.
doesn't say poo? Ooh, then we know she's a witch.
I was born on Halloween.
Little do you know that it's just mud.
If she floats, she's a witch. If she's drowned, she's innocent.
I'm fluffy. I'm going to float regardless.
You're a witch.
Burn her. Be one of the villagers. Burn her.
Floats. Very small rocks.
So, Jerry, give me an investigation roll as you continue to examine other campsites and coordinate with the guards to see if anything else untoward is
what
going
kind of,
on.
What kind of thing?
Investigation.
Investigation. Okay.
See, I remember because I knew
Okay,
she was
good.
going to be the one that had to do the talking.
Oh. Is it gonna be one of these days again?
Did you get
Oh,
one and
I
a
don't
2?
know.
No, I got a. So I got a 10.
10?
Oh no, I got a 10. I got a 10.
The two of you are
That means
standing
I'm
in front of the
12.
temple doors. They are partially open. You can hear the beginnings of possible prayer session
Oh,
going
I'm
on.
handing his toy. Oh, thanks.
So we have to get in quietly. This is a public place. We can just walk in without knocking, right?
Yes.
Tell me. I'm not your character.
No, but you are the world, and you would know if.
Let's just walk in quietly. Okay.
Let's kind of push open the door,
Ooh, yeah,
walk
this is
in.
good, huh?
Um,
Getting those teethers.
She's not getting teeth yet.
Insight check. Is this socially normal?
3 miles down goes, I knew we had something in common. Gab and drink. Yay, Irish. So true.
I want a little Irish in me. I mean, I have a little Irish in me.
I have Irish and that, but on
I
the
had a
problem, I
little
have
Irish in
German,
me,
so we get drunk and then want to take over the world.
Yeah.
Irish.
Irish just want to get drunk, make
Yeah.
babies, and save the world.
Right.
Like
I'm French and English.
I do too.
I got Irish, Scottish, and like a bunch of
And I have
English.
1% Portuguese. Where did that come from?
I took a lot of English from both my mom and my dad.
All right,
and
so
more
we
than
walk
both
in.
of them.
So as you guys
Quietly.
walk in, there's maybe about 30 or 40 individuals that could be members of the town. There is somebody up on the dais kind of looking down, giving a sermon of the Wild Mother, and just prophesizing and just kind of doing the thing that they do in these situations. Off to the right, you can see the cloistered acolytes coming and going from the study sections, and off to your left, there's a few over there. And then as you walk by the cloistered sections, you see the access way down into the hospital. There are the dozen or so empty beds, with the exception of Lord and Lady Tawny now sitting. They seem to be eating broth or a soup of some kind. An adept comes walking directly over to you, and as they do, the small child squeals and runs towards Lord and Lady Tawny, and the Lord and Lady stand and just, they had no idea she was still alive, so they are seeing her for the first time in a very long time. The adept, don't know how to thank you and your friends. The recovery is a miracle, to say the least.
It definitely is at that. Unfortunately, the rest of their caravan was not so lucky.
What do you mean?
The rest of them took ill and died tonight. The rest of their group.
But when you say take ill, were they physically sick, or did they suffer the same thing as?
It wasn't the same, but it didn't manifest the same.
Interesting. Give me a persuasion check, because you're technically not being deceitful because they don't know enough, but you are kind of sticking to your guns of not causing a panic either. So,
And if we
I'm
say
not
bugs,
Jerry.
we were talking about spiders, right?
what's Gaelic
You
for
said persuasion?
Yeah.
whiskey?
Whiskey.
No, it
Whiskey.
means something
No, I don't know.
in Gaelic. In
don't know
Gaelic
it in
Irish, I
Gaelic.
forget what it means.
No, it makes
Like
me
dream
laugh.
water or
13.
something like that. 13? I mean, this person doesn't know enough to know that you're trying to be kind of a little bit more kind of
Fairy lies.
yeah, like you're trying to be a little reserved in your explanation. They just are convinced that, that they look at you and go, well, I mean, I understand. Should we send some of our acolytes out to treat them, or at least close to the bodies?
Maybe cloister the bodies. Just make sure it's not. It doesn't have a contagion.
Well, I will leave the two of you to it. I will go and gather up the necessary individuals to do this.
Perhaps you should talk to the guard captain before going over there.
I shall do that.
They were afraid it might spread.
That's why we're gonna cloister the bodies. Yeah.
And just spread, so is this a disease?
We are not sure yet.
Water of life.
Water of life, thank you.
No, I think it's a residual from the spider attack that.
That does make sense. That does make sense. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I will take care of this immediately.
Oh, you go.
Kind of looks at you strangely, like walks away.
Come on. And we go walk over to the Lord and Lady.
The lady looks up. Big, like, streaks of tears coming out of one of her eyes.
Only one.
Well, the other one's, like, smeared from where the dot. Yeah, exactly. You're hired.
Like only one eye is crying. Is there still something wrong with this woman?
The other one's twitching.
Tear
and
ducts plug.
the other one's mad eye mooting you.
Little did you know, she actually lost the other eye, and the other one's a glass eye.
Tear ducts not?
She just looks over. I have no memory of what happened. Where? How?
Well, apparently you took ill before we left, before the caravan left. Hoffeld?
Yes, I remember we
And-
took. We were in an inn in
What
Haffeld.
inn was that?
If I recall, Eastern Othanzia, where are you?
Are we talking about the inn that we first came from, where we were like nearly killed by gamblers?
Yeah.
That one was Red Cup Tavern.
Oh, you just.
Why do I not have that sorted? I thought I did. I'll have to fix that later. Oh, that's because I'm never mind,
In the
I'm
wrong
Yeah, I just remembered that I was.
chew toy. Baby chew toy.
A baby chew. Okay.
Yes, we had acquired rooms that evening, and then I remember a kind of nauseating sensation, and I wasn't feeling well. So I told my dear husband here that I would
Looks like Arbor.
take an early sleep, and here I am waking up in.
Gawick.
That's a. She starts counting her fingers. That's a 4-day, almost a 4-day journey outside of Hatfield. That we've been unconscious that long.
Yes.
She
It
kind
is
of rubs at the
quite lucky.
new skin sensation on the back of her neck. I must speak with my husband's brother. I mean, you must.
Unfortunately, that's not possible.
He has
What-
since passed on.
They the rest of your caravan didn't pull through.
And Lady Tawny looks down at her daughter. How related to our illness, or
No, related to the spider attack that we had
Oh.
out of character. Was that yesterday?
It was not yesterday.
It was like
Yesterday we
day
were still
before.
here.
it was like
before?
2 days ago
2 days
when
ago?
you guys camped
Okay.
because of poor weather?
Yeah. It was a spider attack that the caravan
Oh.
came under. Ice
Well.
spiders. They were terrifying.
Yeah. I don't know. Hey, I don't. This is all very confusing. But we fell ill in Haffeld. So what caused us to be ill was different than what took our remaining family.
Yes.
My father's, or my husband's brother, his sister, his cousins, and that was the entire guild council. I've always kept it within the family. I don't know what we're going to. This is going to. And you watch as the small child kind of comes over, and she immediately picks her up and puts her on her hip and kind of plays with her nose a bit. Well, is there anything else we can help you with? Babies make you sleepy. They're
Yeah.
so
We're just gonna
snuggly.
just lay down on the couch.
If there is
Um,
something,
Big old cheeks up.
I don't know about what you could help us with, but maybe we could help you.
and perhaps if something comes up, we will let you know.
Hey, help us how?
Well, now it's just you and you two and your daughter, so maybe you guys want to join the group that we're traveling with.
We can maintain with the Azure Hammer caravan. We had intended on splitting off from here and going a separate route, but
You're going to Vasselheim?
yes, but we were going to go a route to take in some of our properties and check in some of our properties near the sundered. Yeah, I don't see where we have a choice now. We must get back to Vasselheim and get back to the guild house and figure out what we're going to do. Before I do that, however, she sets her daughter down and she walks over to a little writing desk, and it takes her like 2-3 minutes. She writes out a message and kind of folds it, and you watch she puts a dab of wax on it and pulls a ring out of her pocket. She rolls it over and she blows on it and brings it back over to you. If you're in Vasselheim and you are within the quad roads, there is where we reside, our guild. We
Quad
on
roads?
the quad roads. It's a region within Vasselheim.
Okay.
We our guild headquarters is maintained in the bazaar, which, if you're familiar with Vasselheim, is the main marketplace within the Dawn City itself.
Yes.
Present this letter. It will allow you access to our guild, and perhaps we can speak of other future business arrangements to, well, show our appreciation. But we don't have the necessary outcomes around us now to be able to reward you specifically. Perhaps something in the future. Thank you. What you've done.
Sorry we couldn't be more helpful.
We tried to save your family.
I think saving our lives and keeping my daughter safe is more than enough, strange person.
Let it be known that your daughter has much love.
I'm glad to hear that.
He is very brave.
I hope so. We've tried our best to teach her to have good character, good morality. She's about to inherit one of the most powerful guilds in the Othanzian kingdom, so these are skills she will need to have. But for now, we must get ready, get back on our feet. You know when the caravan leaves.
We have another day.
A day? Out of character. Is it a day or a
it's
day?
another
and a half?
day. You have like one more day, and then it
Okay.
leaves the following morning.
It doesn't leave tomorrow. It leaves the day after.
Ah,
The
good.
morning of.
Then we have a little bit of time to acquire equipment and ration and
Your gesture to the husband. His brother was working on getting your wagons replaced because they were
interesting.
destroyed. But it yeah.
I
don't
was
know if
talking
they-
to the young adept, and I was under the impression he was making arrangements to have us hospiced here while they finished their journey and then fetch us later.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well,
Well,
anyways,
you recovered, so that has changed.
yes, if you want to call it recovery. Just it's the lack of memory that bothers me, but I'm sure that will pass. At the very least, take this, and she hands you, DJ, a small bag. It
Okay.
rattles, and it's full of very small, kind of precisely manufactured and etched diamond chips.
Ooh, diamond chips.
She gives you about 500 gold worth of diamond chips.
Bag of diamond chips.
My sister-in-law is a practiced cleric of the Wild Mother. That's one of the reasons why I think we might have ended up here, was probably under her concern. But these were a bag of leftover diamond fragments that we had made, and I was going to give them to her as part of her materials that she requires, but unfortunately I don't think she needs them now.
No.
We will have to take our family home and inter them in their tomb and deal with the repercussions of this, but we will seek guidance from the Don Marshal Pike. I'm sure she will give us the aid that we need with this.
Of course.
And as that kind of turns into just kind of a soft separation of conversation.
I'm
For
gonna
you, Jerry,
ruffle the little girl's hair before I go.
yeah,
and-
curls
you
it,
know,
and she
yeah.
just smiles at you.
Yeah.
I'd like to present her with a flower. I'm giving her a flower.
Whoa, where'd that come from?
I guess she's not gonna take me.
Magic.
It's mine now.
That's really cool.
Mommy don't want you, no, Mom did.
She just looks at you, and then she
I'm gonna
goes,
take you
"Are
home.
you a tree?"
Not bad.
You think I'm a tree?
Well, I mean, you kind of look like one, and some of the things you were doing were pretty cool.
As I'm watching her, I'd like to have my skin smooth out a little bit more and just become a little bit more humanoid.
Oh, that's really cool. You do that all the
What's the
time.
lady's name?
Only when it's necessary.
She went to
That is really
Park,
neat.
440.
I'll keep
Yeah,
this.
maybe
And she like
20.
cups it in her hand and she holds it. And she goes, "Does it hurt? Do trees feel pain?"
Perhaps not like
Those
you
little
feel
tree
pain,
trunks.
but I do hurt, and I can die.
Please don't.
Thank you.
You're way too interesting to waste on death.
You stay alive too. For you.
Yeah,
are
my
a
dad
brave
teaches
soul.
me well. It's gonna be okay. And she turns and like runs to where her dad's sitting on the end of the bed. Jerry, you spend a solid 2 hours just combing through all the
I'm gonna go
cans,
check the air.
combing through like everything. You are just so grandpa built. And I love every baby does this. They look over their shoulder, their elbows
It's like
inverted.
they're trying to see more. They want to see more.
Oh, no, she's weird. She cried the other minute ago.
You're exhausted. You're just kind of covered in the day's waste and still kind of recovering from the encounter that you had. And you're just like, no sign, no telltale sign of any kind. You get the feeling that maybe you guys eradicated whatever the condition was.
Yeah.
But as you were wandering about, also give me a medicine check really quick.
I gotta get medicine check. Okay.
I know, I love his smiles.
Do
They're
it.
so
Ready?
cute.
All right.
Him and his duck lips.
Medicine check. Where's our medicine check? Right there. Medicine check. Get it. I got a natural 20 plus a 4, 24.
Ooh, natural 20. You kind of process more of the sampling that you took.
Okay.
And it's a little disconcerting. The DNA sampling you've taken from these insects is not the same as the ones you've taken from the wolf. There's something different about them.
Okay.
Either they've
Evolved?
evolved
Oh no.
somehow, or somehow
Virus.
being inside humanoid creatures or other living
Taking on a little
creatures.
bit of their...
Yeah, like
Okay.
you're seeing
So
DNA results that's very confusing and different.
Okay, so could I attribute it to almost like a disease that jumps from like an animal, it mutates, it goes into a human, and it mutates more. It's
More
it's like
like a-
adapting itself
More like a parasite that's adapting
Right,
to
to-
be more efficient to do this.
to do whatever it needs to do.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised it's not laying.
So it's
eggs when born.
learning. Like first it was the wolves, and now they want to infiltrate human
But
society.
up to this point, you've been unable to locate any kind of reproductive method that they use, which is strange.
Usually a parasite will do that.
You're not really sure what that method might be.
Mhm.
But the fact that these creatures seem to grab onto a portion of the brain intent on controlling, almost puppet-like, they seem to adapt to it very well.
Okay.
And with each evolution of the ones that were attached to the wolf seemed more bestial,
Okay.
and they were evolving that way.
Right.
These ones feel more sophisticated.
Yeah.
Like they were taking on their hosts, some of the DNA structure of their hosts, and using that as a way to evolve into something else.
Okay.
I turn the air
Oh,
down.
was getting a little bit
Boom.
warm.
Oh,
Let the mama.
I didn't notice.
Well, you're a tree.
I am a tree. I also have I don't notice I'm burning up until.
Till you're on fire.
Mhm.
Fair point.
He'll walk
Willa
at 9
doesn't
months.
notice she's burning up.
Oh,
until
I
she's
bet he
on
will.
fire.
Yeah,
I have a feeling
he is so strong.
his
It's
legs
crazy.
are strong already.
Well, she will know she's on fire. I
He
think.
doesn't even do any of the like wobbly, standy up stuff yet.
Yeah. All right.
So
Okay,
it's
so
beginning to get a little bit darker now for you at this point as the last of daylight fades. Is a
I'll
good
go-
deal of your time taking, like, trying to figure out if you can find any more sign of these creatures, but no real sign at this point.
All right.
Do have the one specimen still contained in the one ceramic container, the one that you took from the back of Lord and Lady Tawny. You also have fragment remnants of the insects themselves, but for the most part, they were obliterated either
Right.
through trying to hunt them down or through interaction with them. They do
Well-
seem surprisingly fragile. Like,
They are like very fragile.
yeah, they're not very robust.
Yeah. Until they get in somebody, then they probably take on whatever they have in. Okay, so I'm
You can
bushed.
pass me one of those on my
I've
travel.
literally like used like all of my mental powers
Already.
today.
Carolyn,
No.
please.
I've
There's a
used,
lot of food over here. I don't know.
I've used like all my
Okay.
psionic powers today,
Thank
and
you.
I'm just spent. So I'm gonna go back to the wagon. I'm also gonna make sure that
Those are good. Good curry.
it doesn't matter. I'm just going back to
Oh my gosh.
The guild hall or the wagon, or where are you going back to?
were we still staying in the guild hall?
Guild hall.
Mhm.
Yeah, guild hall.
Okay.
I'll go back to guild hall.
So where are you two going? You, after leaving the hospital and still kind of hearing the ceremony continuing on, you see the last of day has faded. It's now the early kind of signs of evening.
I'll be going back to the guild hall
Okay.
for dinner.
The three of you eventually meet
Is
back in the
everything
main
okay?
common area where you can have a meal.
Is everything squared away in the in the caravan, Jerry?
You talking to me? No, it's-
I'm
um,
sorry. Rabbit,
no, I'm
No,
I'm
Bunny.
the Hobbit.
Jerry right
I'm
now.
the Hobbit.
bunny.
I'm Jerry.
That's what.
Yes, I was unable to detect the presence of any of the insectoid life forms,
Oh,
and I'm very tired mentally.
you should rest then. I'll make sure nobody comes in, and I'll go outside and become a tree and just kind of.
Yeah, you find a nice little spot in the front of the guild house garden, and there's a couple other trees there, so you're able to kind of like blend in as much as possible. Give me a perception check though before you transform.
Oh, is that
17 plus 3.
No one's around. No one being. I mean, there's people coming and going, but no one's specifically eyeing you. And you.
I was gonna
Go
say, if
into
that
your tree
blacksmith
form.
is there, I'm gonna cut him down if he tries to cut her down.
Leaving you and Jerry at the table, finishing up a meal.
I'm,
You can go ahead and mark off your long rest.
as I'm eating,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be pull out that spell book and studying that spell book while I'm
Okay.
eating. I'm focusing on magic missile.
Okay. Go ahead and give me investigation.
I'm not proficient. Investigation. I got 7.
Give me Arcana with disadvantage, as you find the writings to be very complex.
It's been a long day. My brain's overwrought.
Maybe you should try again in the morning.
Arcana. 14.
14. You do find some interesting notes.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like this particular mage excelled in what we call force magic. And he dabbled a great deal in not only the idea of the utilization of a spell called Magic Missile, but you begin to kind of find other similar-minded spells as well. You get the feeling if you can just dabble a little bit more, get to know what force magic means and what it's utilized for, you could probably start deciphering this spell book.
Well, it sounds a lot like my force arrow.
Possible. They're really, I'm getting more of those next time. Those are good.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you guys want to do before your long rest?
Let's go see.
Yeah, you're like, just want my long rest.
Yes.
I had like 2
I'm-
hit points left.
Literally.
I just want to keep looking at the book.
Would you like a good bear before you go to bed?
Now, since you guys are going to take your long rest now, essentially your level up process will take effect. Now,
Awesome.
how are we going to do hit points?
We already did
We already
them.
did.
Dirty them.
We rolled
Right.
them.
Mhm.
But the question is,
Mhm.
hit points are intended to be something you could augment as you move forward. So even though you have a con bonus and you have your hit die type that we kind of agreed to, keep in mind with each milestone, you can make other subjective kind of, changes to that. You can say, well, I feel like I did a lot of physical activity. I think I should have earned a couple more hit points.
Yes, I did a lot of physical activity. Can I
You
have
know,
more
so-
hit points?
You are a milestone. So the milestone is not meant to be too linear. It's meant to be subjective to the activities we've been doing up to that point. That way, it can make a little bit more sense in your character development. You may even lose some permanent hit points if you feel like you suffered a severe physical trauma that's left you weaker or
That makes sense.
subject to like a disease condition like termites or something like that.
No, I'm resistant to diseases.
Well, termites aren't a disease though, are
Uh,
they?
my-
They're an
Parasite.
infestation.
That's when I get the infestation
So
spell.
click off your long rest, set your hit points back to normal.
Oh,
Although, anybody memorizing spells, don't forget you need to memorize any spells that you want for the day. So
We don't
keep
have-
that in mind.
do we get to learn more spells?
We don't get that.
You can change them out if you want to.
No,
You said that.
we only get a certain amount of spells.
Right, but you're free to exercise those ones out and then rememorize new ones. If you've used any spells, you have to rememorize those spells before you go to bed.
So out of all the spells that I put on this list, I could actually just have a certain amount of them at any time.
Correct.
Oh, because I only have these ones here. So like, I only have these ones.
Yeah, you only said we could know so many spells.
Yeah, know so many, but I didn't say you couldn't know more and replace the ones that you didn't want to use for the day. So the idea is before a long rest, you're pulling out your spell book and you're going, okay, I didn't use these 3 today. Do I want to keep them? No, I'll get rid of that one. I'm going to memorize this one instead and replace it.
I thought we could use each one of those spells once.
There is one of my
So-
abilities that I want to like change because
I see a look on your face like you're not getting it.
From my understanding, I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm very confused. We were supposed to pick 5. We have like 3 cantrips, cool,
Correct.
and we'd have 5 spells of our choosing. Didn't matter the level because there was no levels.
Correct.
And we can use each of those spells only once a day, unless there was
Correct.
a cantrip.
Oh, you guys are right. No, I was thinking. Never mind. I was
Right.
thinking of a different formula. You're right.
Right.
I'm
But
thinking that
we
after the
didn't-
milestone, you might have taken new spells, but you haven't learned any new spells within the game.
I
That's my
would
bad.
love to learn more spells. Can
Well,
we-
you can if you find spells to read and
That's
learn.
what I'm trying to
I
do.
would love.
That's what her character's trying to do.
Can I learn
So,
more spells just by
existing? No.
Yeah. Come on, I'm a tree. I'm in tune with nature.
I've got 10 games in my head right now, and
And that's
what
why. That's
happened.
why I was.
That's why we
You're
were, that's why we
absolutely
were
right.
like, wait, we can't switch out our spells.
That's true.
Yeah, well, but what he is saying.
What I
he
meant
was
to
saying-
say was you have to rememorize the ones that you use.
Yes, I already marked them all off.
But
Perfect.
but he did also say that we could do like 2 of the spells that we know instead of one of the other one. Take one out of their
Oh,
daily
okay.
use,
Right. You
Oh.
can rebalance them if you want. to.
rebalance.
Oh, okay.
So let's say you decide that you're in a dangerous situation for the next couple days. You may say, you know what? Everything's magic missile for the next couple days.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we can only.
But you can still only have as many spells as you have.
Correct. Based on the
So-
acumen of your understanding of magic.
So if you have
So,
5
like-
spells, you could do 5 magic missiles, or you could do
Right.
one of each of the 5 spells
Okay,
you know,
that's
or you
new,
could do
right.
2 magic missiles and
Correct.
yeah.
Right.
That's new to my understanding.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put that
Except
in
for
my-
me, I'm different.
That's it's a blend of old school and then a blend of a new way of looking at magic.
Yeah.
Like, I want magic to be more powerful, but it feels like it should be more limiting in how you acquire it
Mhm.
and its utilization. It's like, that's why, that's why I don't want Magic Missile to have, high level spell interpretations. I want your skill set with a spell to determine your ability to use it. So that as you know Magic Missile now, you may find an academy that teaches you how to use it better in a more powerful way. And then you're going to learn a whole new damage set that's going to go with it. So you could go to an academy in Valhelheim and spend a week learning advanced forms of Magic Missile.
Like a
And then
shield
suddenly
piercing magic
it does,
missile.
10d10 force damage when you use it. because that's why magic's so limiting, because it should have the potential of being so powerful. But if everyone walked around with a lightsaber, whoever wants to play Star Wars anymore?
I do.
Not me.
I would like to be a penguin with a lightsaber because I have force magic. I am a Jedi penguin. Thank you.
Don't give Disney any ideas.
Because penguins, march the penguins.
You guys wake up after your long rest. The normal routine of breakfast is wafting up from the common room from down below. You are out in the main garden. You kind of, and it's interesting because as you come back into existence, there's people in the garden kind of like not really paying attention to you, so you're able to kind of slip off, but they can't help but notice how they're like, I know it's still early spring, but why is it every time we walk by this spot, it just looks so refreshed and freshly bloomed? It's like there's conversation and nattering going on, just enough to give it a distraction so you come back into existence and slink back into the Azure Hammer Guild Hall, where you meet up with Jerry and DJ down in the common space where they're currently, one is absorbing nutrition, the other one's actually eating.
I'm gonna greet all of the plants before I go inside.
Okay.
And it's
Good
just
morning
day
to you.
Oh, hi. Morning.
I hope you're feeling
Oh, good.
refreshed today.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
Okay.
Take care of this worm.
My
What was
dog's shitting
Can you
on
take care
us.
of this worm?
Oh yes, thank you.
Just eat it.
Oh no, a dog's pooping on us.
I don't consent. I don't consent.
I feed the worm to the dog.
Lifts its leg and pees on the flower and walks off.
Pat the dog.
The flower's like,
Nitrate.
this is the second time this week. No.
Eventually, you guys watch as Willa comes in. Always drawing stares, though, whenever she comes into her room.
Never gonna keep a low profile with her around.
I walk directly
Says
to
the hairless halfling. Says the craven hairless halfling with a speech impediment.
I'm gonna have to find something else to change in.
You know, I'm just gonna say that my speech has
back into the
probably
box.
regressed
I'll carry you.
hanging out with Jerry. That's probably
You know, Fox is a pain in the butt.
As you guys are consuming breakfast, you watch as a familiar orc comes walking into the chamber, carrying his helmet underneath his arm and his harness gear. Well, last of the wagon repairs are done. New horses have been brought in. Most of the equipment and everything's been restocked. We're ready to leave in the morning. I would imagine the three of you are joining us, are you not?
Of course.
I've been given a strange request. Are you familiar with Lord and Lady Tawny?
Yes.
I have requested to make sure that their wagon is caravanned with you. Here's the thing. Decided to assign you a drover. Not that I don't think you have the potential of learning how to drive these things, but I can't help but notice.
Someone can drive. Oh my gosh, that's so amazing.
Yes.
I was
it's-
starting to understand.
Very intelligent of you.
Yeah, intelligence. Let's go with that. Anyways, we can't afford any more delays. We have to maintain our schedule. And with what recently happened with the Tawny family, I want to get out of this region as quickly as possible. So, I will have drovers for both you and the Tawny wagon, so that we can maintain pace. You're not the only wagon I've had to do this with. I've had to reach out to a handful of the others as well. Our caravan has grown to over 212 wagons, so we have got to maintain our pace.
I appreciate this, Aaron. Do you know who will be?
Yes,
joining?
his name is Crimin.
And
Young lad.
Criminal.
Young orc lad. Good drover. Very good drover. He's quite capable.
Thank you.
Yes, Jerry. You seem concerned.
He's just upset that we didn't drive properly.
It's not about that, dear boy. I can assure you. It's more about schedule.
Oh no, it's exactly about that. We are horrible drivers.
I think I did better.
You know, I like that kind of honesty.
I think I did more good than bad.
Until
Overall.
you broke both the wheels off the back. Remember that?
That wasn't me.
That was me.
Well, technically just one wheel, but it took some time. I understand your point, Jerry. Yes, you are quite
Should have given us,
inconsistent when it comes to
should have
driving
given
the
us
wagon.
one to begin with.
Well, he didn't know that we couldn't drive well.
But do you guys have anything planned for today?
No, is there something you need?
There is something I need.
Excellent.
There is a young animal handler that lives on the outskirts of town. He goes by the name of Draven. Very, very capable friend of mine. He is hobgoblin, can't miss him, one eye, horrible scar, led a very difficult life, and well, Draven's a personality, but that's okay. He is in possession of a dozen ice raptors. I have an order to fill, and I would like to take possession of those. I have 3 handlers I can send with you to aid you in returning them here.
How many did you say?
A dozen.
A dozen.
At least that's what my order form says here, that I'm supposed to acquire a dozen of them.
Ice raptors. All right. Out of character, would that be like birds, or would that be like dinosaurs?
They would be, to your mind, from a nature perspective, they are very small, 4-foot tall, lizard dinosaur-like creatures that
Like
have
tiny
strange
velociraptors?
wings and fur.
Ooh, wing?
So they are birds.
Like not wings, but like feathers, like feather kind of designs on them. They're the wealthy in Vasselheim view them as exotic pets. They're also really good at keeping
probe
vermin under control. So sometimes very large guild houses or very large organizations bring them on to kind of deal with like rat populations and dealing with vermin and stuff like that.
So they're lizard cats.
Kind of.
I want one.
Very big.
I want one. Jerry's got a probe one.
You look over to see Jerry.
That's all they want me for is my probe.
Everything
In
else but
Scotland,
us.
we do this a lot. You watch Jerry put his feet in very tall rubber boots.
Okay. And you said they were where? Or he was where?
Outside of town, just north of here, about maybe a mile or so up near the ice ridge. Can't miss it. Draven keeps a
Mile
corral out there.
Okay. All right.
Good.
So, yeah.
I've run out
Do
of
we need
spare.
to pay him for them?
No,
or-
that's already been
It's already
taken
been taken
care of.
care of? Okay.
Yes.
Do we need paper?
Do we need to pay for?
Oh,
staying?
yes, here. And he pulls something out of his vest and
Okay.
he hands it to you.
All right. We can do that.
Excellent. Well,
Where do you want us to take them after?
we'll just leave them with the handlers. They'll bring them back to the caravan.
Okay.
Are we just making sure that everything goes smoothly?
That's kind of, I don't really have any spare personnel to send, and I feel like
No, it's fine.
he's generally confused, but
Daggers, you know,
See-
stab the bad thing.
No.
no, it's not about that. It's
See what you're doing right there? Remember we talked about eyelids?
Should I need to blink more?
Yes.
that just got really strange.
It's
I
okay.
really do admire
It's
you.
all right.
And it's like strange helping strange. Just like the look of your.
He sees like both of my eyelids, like because I have an inner one and
Yeah.
And then the sideways one.
Yeah,
Like
the
a
sideways
sniper
ones.
scope.
And I just start to rapidly blink my eyes because I don't actually need to blink. I just keep.
Like a sniper scope.
Not that much.
We'll go right away.
Yes. Most of the arrangements have been already taken
Where are
care
the
of.
drover or the drovers that
Yes.
we'll pick them up.
I appreciate the help.
Yeah.
I've got the 3 wagons waiting out front of the guild hall. There are 3 additional horses if you choose to take them with you. That way you can make
I
your
like
way
riding.
quickly and
It is
Yeah, why not?
faster.
Good luck. Thank you. I realize I've asked this as a favor, but if it requires payment, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to pay it.
Of course. Thank you, Aaron.
Yes.
This will keep us
I'm-
busy.
He kind of steps away from the table. And
I'll be
straps
ready
his helmet
to
on.
spar with you.
Yes, yes.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Jerry, you ready?
Okay.
Then
That is-
bye, Aaron.
And he turns and he leaves.
Bye.
There's like a table of gnomes that just shudder and get up and walk away.
Yep. So Jerry,
Never leave
are you
me.
guys ready? You guys ready? Jerry, Willa, you ready?
Of course. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
We ate breakfast already. Right?
Yeah, I mean, conversation, breakfast, and everything.
Okay.
I want another one of those smokes. Those are good.
Oh, hand him the rest of the plate. There's 3 left.
Okay. Are you sure the spices or the sauce is spicy?
Yeah, I just didn't put a lot on it. Instead of pouring it on, I dipped it, so it wasn't that bad. So you can probably dip it, and you'll be fine. So we're gonna head out to the caravan or the wagons.
All right, you head out
and,
front, in front of the kind of like garden space. You can see where your horses are tethered to the hitching posts, and you can see the 3 wagon drovers are waiting. And you notice the wagons are penned. There's cages on the back of them, probably to deal with the ice raptors.
Mhm.
And they're just patiently waiting. Hey, how are you doing? Yeah, hey, yeah.
Hi. All right, let's go.
We're ready.
We're ready.
What's your names?
Oh, fuck you.
Let's get on our horses. Come on, guys.
It might be important. I might
And we head north.
I like their time management skills.
Yes.
Hey,
That's
if
precisely
they
what
die,
it
I would like to know who died, okay?
I'll find out
is. If they
if Proby I want.
Well,
that
not gonna
wasn't his
take that
name.
long. It's his proboscis.
That's my Proby the wand.
So is there,
Probably
how
purpose
many
it.
handlers are with us?
3.
3 drovers
Okay.
that are responsible for the wagon, probably gathering up the raptors once you're there. You currently have the message bundle with all the information in it.
Yep.
There's a small kind of local map that's written out for you. So as soon as you guys meet, like head out the north side of town and out to the outskirts. This is very much a herds folk town. I mean, you're seeing just small dotted herds of all varieties of, Arctic domestic animals. Most are long-haired or either harvested for their fur, meat, or whatever situation entails. Eventually, within about 15, 20 minutes of getting to north of the town, you find a small cart trail that begins to kind of come off the main road and go into like a low rolling Arctic hill environment. And you can see way off in the distance a higher ridge line, and on that ridge line see a building and some smoke trailing from what might be a chimney. You're not really sure. Give me perception checks as you kind of take all this in after switching directions.
No.
No, I do not take all this in. I go back to cleaning the termites out of my
A
face.
13.
16.
Okay. Looking around, the very first thing you see is you now are in between 2 fence lines. These fence lines are partially timber and stone. And you watch as about 100 of these small lizard-like creatures just come swarming by the fence line. And they're like riding alongside you as you're going up the road towards the ridge line.
How big are they?
They look to be about 3 or 4 feet and tall and high. They almost like, imagine an ostrich, but with the neck of a lizard and the face of a lizard, but lots of plumage, but not really any flight wings. It's their massive raptor feet, and their huge elongated snouts, and you can see a tongue kind of flick out and little sharp beak imprints on the lower and upper part of their mouths, and they just seem to be eyeing your horses as you make your way up towards the ridgeline.
I think they want to eat the horses.
I thought they were supposed to take care of rodents.
That doesn't mean that they won't eat bigger things.
Noted. I will make sure they don't eat you.
Noted.
What you doing?
Okay. So we continue on.
Okay. As you do.
I gotta change his diaper.
Is it full?
As a load.
Big load?
If you're going to change his diaper, that means I get to do the talking.
That's terrifying.
Please hurry.
Or you could do the talking.
For the love of all that is holy, please hurry. I'll change them.
He might wait.
So, with that, you watch as the first. Well, where are you guys in the lab? The 3 wagons take
We're
up the
rushing to
majority.
the house now.
Okay.
No.
Because she might have to
You're
leave. We're rushing. Yeah! Yeah! It's in slow motion. Yeah!
Alright, we'd stay with the wagon.
Yeah, we're staying. I'm on the left of the wagon, and I'm
Okay.
staring at the people driving, trying to observe how they're doing it differently than I did.
Watching the drovers.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Give me an insight check because you just kind of spend some of that time doing that.
Cool. It's a 17 plus 3.
A lot of hand-eye coordination, practice. They seem to do things without looking. So you get the feeling that they've been doing this for a while.
Hand-eye coordination.
The way
That
they hold the
might be- you don't
reins, the
have
way the
eyes.
harness and tack is set up. The other reality is these wagons aren't quite as sturdy or overbuilt as the Vardo wagons are. So these wagons are a lot easier to drove as compared to the complex Vardos. And that might have a little bit to do with it as well.
Okay.
You guys come over and around the last rising hill, and you're now slightly above the ridgeline looking down. No sign of anybody at this point, just a telltale sign of smoke coming out of a chimney. You can see other fencing and other kind of corrals set up in the front of what, for all intents and purposes, pretty much looks like a stone ranch house at this point.
Alright. So we're gonna.
Are we I want to talk to Caravaner A.
The name's Philip.
I got a name.
That's Thomas. And that's William. We're brothers.
Well, let's load up those raptors.
Are you supposed to talk to them, or are we?
We are.
I believe that the Baxi has the paperwork.
Mhm.
We're just here for delivery, mate.
Okay.
You
So
don't
we're.
like me talking.
I could see why. I'm
I'm
gonna go
gonna-
back to shitting myself now. Thank you.
You're welcome. You got fertilizer.
I'm gonna dismount and head towards
Set
the
that
door.
down for me. Okay. Kind of get off the horse, and you're now walking towards the front door. It's closed. The windows appear to be closed. Still no sign of anybody at this point. Give me a persuasion roll.
With my knocking.
Mm-hmm.
They've been attacked by beetles.
Don't hit with thy knocking.
Yeah.
I always like to eat the walnuts because they always look like
3.
little.
You rolled a
brains.
natural 1, didn't you?
Yeah.
You are so cursed. I know. This timid, well, no, you knock.
It's this one.
Come out.
Well, you hear window break, and you hear people running through the backside of the
Willa.
house.
What?
Yeah, you guys are watching as DJ's up there knocking. She waits. The drovers have opened up the pens, and they've gotten on their big heavy gloves, and they've got their kind of catch bags ready to go, and they're waiting. You
door.
guys are waiting. No
I'm gonna
answer
look
at
in
the
the window.
door.
Open the door.
Are you opening it?
Yeah.
It's locked.
I'm gonna look in the window.
Curtains are drawn.
Can I plant myself in the ground and try
Give me
to sense
perception
my
with
way?
disadvantage. You try to peek through and see what you can see.
I'd like to kind of plant
Why
myself in the
I have
dirt. and kinda
advantage on perception, so
Mhm.
can I just straight roll?
Yeah, straight roll.
Get some scope of the landscape I'm in.
Okay. Kind of allow your toes to curl into the soil. Give me a nature check.
Sure. I have that one.
9.
9. Ooh, Laurie. The windows aren't very well
20.
made, so between the poor manufactured windows and the curtains being pulled, you're like, you can see outlines of furniture, but not much else.
20.
20? You can feel the natural environment of the ice raptors in their pens. You can even feel the dozen or so that are over in the barn just behind the ranch house itself, almost like they've been set up and prepared for delivery. As you, no sign of humanoid life, as far as you can tell. But your senses can't quite penetrate the wood and stone floor, the foundation of the building. But no sense of any humanoid life on the outside of the ranch house, for sure.
Okay.
I'll try to pick the lock.
Jerry, don't pick the lock. Let's
Give
just go
me,
check the barn.
Give me sleight of hand.
Jerry, don't pick the lock. Let's just go check the barn.
The barn would be dirt. The barn is dirt floor, though, right?
Exactly.
There is nobody in the barn except the animals.
Is there a lock?
Dirty 20.
Physically, she can't see it yet. It's on the other side of the
We can't.
ranch. Yeah, she can only sense it because as she kind of puts the tendrils of her roots to figure out what's living and what's around. Yeah, go change it. That the root system kind of tells her what she kind of senses. What'd you get for sleight of hand?
Dirty 20.
You hear a clicking sound and the door pops open. Look in. The entryway is very kind of almost like mudroom style. You can see leather boots hanging on hooks, heavy kind of like leather dusters hanging on hooks. There's a strange musty smell, but you're not really sure what it is. And there's seating and common tables and other kind of just like normalized waiting room furniture, like just a common room appearance almost. You can see a hallway that goes straight ahead and then branches off. You can see a set of stairs that wind up to an overhanging balcony that maybe goes back into some other rooms within the second floor. Smelling just feels like you're in an empty ranch house. It's weird.
Do you have the ability to sense other brains or something with your mind stuff?
I could, but I'm not going to do that.
Are you sure, Jerry?
Are you sure,
Yes, I'm so sure.
I
I don't. Yeah, right. I don't want to use my magic on nothing. So I'll look around.
Yeah, you
I'll
kind of
sneak around.
step in. Give me a stealth check just for
All right.
base. You watch as Jerry goes into the ranch house. What are you doing?
Well,
DJ's just kind of standing there in the door jam, keeping an eye out.
Dirty 20.
Okay. You watch as Jerry enters into the house.
Jerry.
I sense where the pickup is, but no humanoids in the area.
Footfalls.
I'm gonna follow.
Boards are a little squeaky.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Well, I'll look around and look.
Give me a investigation check as you start to kind of look around the common room.
I'm following him.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep an eye on our trio in case they get into trouble. Because if something's happened to the farmhouse, I don't want it to happen to our
18.
Drivers.
Well, they haven't been given any instructions yet, so they're just sitting there waiting for you guys to tell them what to do.
I'm keeping an eye on them to make sure they're not attacked by
So
anybody.
you're up on the wooden patio or the wooden deck, kind of watching them.
I can hear them going in.
So you've gone inside. 18 on your investigation. What are you doing?
I'm following him.
Okay. Two of you are kind of. Give me a stealth check. You have advantage on that.
I do.
Nice.
18.
Nice. Two of you begin to kind of.
It's a tabaxi thing.
Yeah, you're wandering the common room. You see the fireplace. It's smoldering. There's fire in it. Like maybe a fire was stoked recently. That's when you come around the corner of the common room to see where the kitchen table and where they would sit and eat. It's attached to the way the kitchen structure is built. You can hear burbling noises. You look over to see a small pot that's kind of boiling over a little bit. You can see half-eaten food on the surface of the table. Chairs are pulled out. They're not tipped over in any way. You can now see out the back side of the ranch. You can see through the two windows, but the curtains have been drawn. the midday sun or the mid-morning sun is kind of creeping through the curtains. You can see food that was in mid-prep is all out. But no immediate sign of disturbance or like...
I'm not there, but I would like to know if it's like breakfast
I'll
food.
finish searching the grounds floor, and then I'll start heading up the stairs.
Okay. You kind of turn to go look down the one hallway with where it branches off. DJ, what are you doing?
I'm looking at the food. How old does it appear to be?
It's like from this morning.
And it's
Burnt.
There's a cup of tea that's still warm,
a cup of
but
tea
half
still.
drunk. And the
There aren't like piles of ash on the floor or anything, right? Where people would be.
give me a perception check.
I look for those little darts.
Rapture.
Do I see any of those little darts maybe where they have missed somebody?
Give me a perception check.
13.
13. No, in fact, it's surprisingly clean with one exception. There
23.
is a single set of footprints leaving from the kitchen area, almost like somebody was wearing wet boots, and they lead out the back door of the kitchen, and the door to the kitchen is slightly open. What'd you get?
23.
You're down the hallway and you're looking, you don't see anything, but as you get to the end of the hallway, you look to the right and you're looking into a study, and then you look to the left and it looks like you're looking at the main bedroom for maybe whoever resides here.
Mm-hmm.
You can see clothes that are kind of just strewn on the bed, like they've been placed there for picking out what to wear.
Mm-hmm.
There's a window, kind of you can see light coming in from one window and light coming in from the other window. The study seems to be relatively normal, no sign. Kind of looking at the floorboards and the base, like looking around the floor, no immediate sign of anything.
I'll go back out to the kitchen and meet up
I'm
with.
looking at the wet feet prints.
Yeah, they lead right to the kitchen door. Kitchen door is slightly ajar.
I look out the kitchen door.
And then as you do, you can see footprints. And that's where you can see the barn.
I'm gonna
Doors
message
are
Jerry.
closed and the footprints seem to go out towards the barn.
Gonna message Jerry that I found footprints leading outside to the barn. Kitchen door was slightly ajar.
You feel someone
gonna
touch you on the
message.
back and Jerry's right there.
Okay, I'm gonna message Willa that too.
Okay. Fair point.
Would you like me to join you, or should I stay as sentinel?
No, come with us.
Yeah, come with us. The drovers will be fine.
I will approach the drover and say, they seem to be missing. We are investigating, find out where they are. Keep your eyes open. Something might have gone.
Break time, boys. And you watch as they all get up into one
Break time.
wagon and they pull out small canvas bags and start eating food.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
We always need professional victims in Dungeons and Dragons, and we found a couple.
I think she might
Three.
have had a diaper.
She has a diaper on for a reason.
I know, it's like, I felt warm for a second. I'm like, okay. Scared me.
Oh, we're all just 1 year away from a diaper.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I know. Like D&D would be so much easier with a diaper. You're like,
10 seconds.
okay, just one more.
I have no-
Okay, now
Okay.
we can go ahead.
You know,
Continue.
you save that for the very contemplative moment.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I roll deuces.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to say the diapers do not stop it from smelling because I've had
Fair.
a client who wore a diaper.
Fair point.
Yeah.
She can't smell anything. The only person that's asked out's going to be you.
I don't know. My sense of smell has not been the same since.
So with you and Jerry kind of at the back door, and you see that, you go walking through the house. You kind of see everything they saw. You walk through the kitchen. They're both at the back kitchen door with it
I was
open.
actually kind of hoping I'd meet them around the corner or something.
Are you gonna go around?
Mhm.
Because it's not the direction they went. So you're gonna go.
I
To
thought
the
they-
left?
I thought, like, wherever, like, they're
They
saying
went through the house.
Yeah, I was gonna go around the house to meet them at the door. that
Okay,
leads
give
to
me a
the bar.
stealth check.
Okay,
If you're being stealthy,
Would you
might
do
as well.
stealth?
19
give me
plus
perception.
2, so 21. What?
Give me perception.
Perception.
With advantage because you're being pretty quiet.
18. My
Yeah.
goodness. Plus 3, so 21.
As you're coming around, you haven't made it to the back side of the ranch yet, where they are. But as you come around, there are footsteps near a window, like somebody was standing in front of it, and a set of footsteps leading back in the direction you believe them to be.
I will let them know as soon as
And you
I
notice the window's slightly cracked open.
That's pleasant.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. You're like, oh, fuck, we're gonna die. Eventually, you guys watch as Willa comes around the corner from the outside, and the three of you are
Okay.
now right by the kitchen door. And that's when you notice where she comes around. There is another set of footprints from that side.
Are they wet too?
Well, they're in the snow,
Oh.
And do they meet up and then go up, or they?
kind of. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
For some reason, I
The
wasn't
same
picturing
person,
snow.
or I wasn't
Do we have any?
picturing snow either.
Is there any buckets of oil and things like that? Flammable.
I mean, give
As
me
a-
a perception check in the kitchen, see if you can see something.
I back far away from you and your oil. Curse you. Your oil.
Perception 16.
16. There's a small ceramic of lantern oil, and then a small kind of like preserved bucket of rendered pig fat that they probably use for cooking.
Okay. All right. Just to know.
Okay.
Might have to burn you.
Three of you are standing at the back door of the kitchen,
Such a
kind of
pirate.
watching where these prints just
Stop channeling Tobias.
I know, right?
kind of.
There was an open window where the prince had stopped. Where did the prince come from? Or it was just two prints?
There were just a bunch of shuffled feet by the window.
But they didn't come from anywhere. They just were right there.
Yeah.
And then the prince leading away. Does it look like one?
Give me a
set of
survival
prints?
check. All the candy gone.
No.
There's yeah, the candy's gone. Sorry, but
Oh yeah.
we got this.
Well, that's no good.
It's almost like
Oh, one
candy.
candy.
Sorry.
18.
18. As you focus more down on the prints, realizing that you missed that set that came in from the left. Yeah, there's almost like they're overlapping each other. And it feels like maybe 4 sets of unique footprints are now leading off towards the barn.
Guys, I think that's 4 sets of footprints.
Does it need to be
How-
burped?
How much?
You want to bring them over here and I'll burp them?
How much? How many people? Do we have an idea of how many people might live here?
Well, you know that you were expected to meet Draven, but you didn't really make any other inquiries from Aaron in regards to who else would be here.
Mhm.
But judging by the size of the ranch and the amount of responsibility that might be, what happened?
Well, he burped down my arm.
Oh, he just
Yum.
burped.
Yes.
Hi, bud. Missed ya. I missed ya. You're sweaty. You must have been on Mama's chest.
Yeah.
Sorry. Finish my food. Oh.
So 4 sets of footprints. For the size of the house, does it look like the size of the house would be big enough to have 4 people?
Well, considering you
farmhands?
hadn't gone upstairs yet, you get the feeling there might have been more bedrooms upstairs, maybe.
Well, yeah, but
It's
I mean,
a pretty large ranch, so it's probably family. Oh, thank you.
At least 4 people.
There's at least a family-run business here.
Okay.
And it sounds like that Aaron's been working with Draven over a period of time,
Okay.
bringing ice raptors in and out of Vasselheim. So
Let me see that.
there definitely could probably have been more people here.
Okay. All right. So let's follow the footprints.
Did
Okay.
this ranch have a name?
Why couldn't it be follow the butterfly?
Not that you saw.
Okay.
My God, you just tried to grab my
I'm just gonna call it Graven's Ranch.
I love you.
Ranch Draven.
I love you. I love you. You
Raptor
wake up
Ranch.
early today there, buddy? You look a
Been a
little
long
abstract. Can I
week,
get you some
man.
Geritol?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Some.
AA batteries?
It
Now,
has
do
been
you
a
have
long
some
week.
Ensure?
No,
I
it hasn't.
might,
Today's
actually.
Monday. Last week was the long week. Today's
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
it's
pretty
my-
sure there's like a timey-wimey thing.
No,
happening
my
tomorrow's
week. My week's just been rolling through. It's just part of the same week.
Yeah, get that feeling.
I gotta take my son back to Camp Pendleton tomorrow, so that'll like ease everything up. Everybody's wanting to have parties and see him, and
Yeah.
one thing after the other. And
It's like you love seeing your family, but at the same time, it's exhausting.
yeah.
So we follow the footprints.
Okay. You guys begin to follow them. The snow's maybe only about 6 inches deep here, so it's just that crust of spring snow that you walk through, kind of mixed with mud and sand. And the prints lead right past a corral to your left. There's maybe 3 or 4 dozen of the ice raptors kind of milling about. They seem to be eating from piles of food out in the middle.
Do they look like food or do they look like people?
Give me a perception check.
Well, she'll just be in there working, and they'll be like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong here. You guys are paranoid."
There was nobody in the barn though.
Eight.
That's what bothers me.
8.
I didn't sense anybody in the barn.
As far as you can tell, they look like small chunks of like vermin and rat and badger and possum, just like kind of local critter meat that's been given to them.
I hate
And
rodents.
Aaron said
They're
he was a
usually
goblin?
vegetarians.
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin.
Yep.
Hobgoblin.
My bad. I think I feel better.
He only has one eye and he's scarred. I totally wrote that down.
Yeah, he definitely described as a road-weary kind of adventurer type.
This is his retirement.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets to be the DM. He sees behind the screen
Teach him your
with
ways,
Jason.
Fine, no, don't let them know that's gonna happen.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Behind the Screen.
Welcome to Baby
Jason Baldrick.
D&D. Hi, everybody dies.
And Sebastian.
Oh no, he's drooling too.
No, he's been infected by one of the insects.
No, not the
No.
baby.
Will a restoration spell work?
Wish the spell would work.
Oh, you
Looks
got a
like
little
we
thing over
cast
there, huh?
enlarge, reduce, and made you smaller. So, anyways,
So you're following the trail.
Mhm.
All the footfalls lead right up to the double barn doors.
Can I
It's
look?
a good sized building. There is a hayloft above the double barn doors. You can see a pulley system kind of hanging from it. So that's filled with barrels, though. You don't necessarily see hay up there.
well, if they eat carry-on and stuff, they
Mm.
wouldn't. They wouldn't have hay up there.
When we go inside, I'm definitely gonna keep my eyes up because I didn't sense anybody on the ground.
Right now, the doors are closed.
When we go inside.
Open the door
It's locked.
Well,
or the windows.
No windows. No visible lock either. You go to like pull, and it feels like
it's one of those.
it's kind of like sealed from the
bars?
inside.
Can I find?
Yeah, give me a sleight of hand.
Cool.
Give me a sleight of vine.
Hey, Mom. I probably
No,
want
that's
to
a
be
6.
washed. I'm probably tired.
It's not working.
Yeah, you can't find purchase. It's like your vine fingers kind of go under, extend up the back of the door, like you're trying to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Just
My
can't seem to
blind side is
find
just
it.
not helping me at the moment.
You give me a good burp, though, honey.
Oh,
Think you want the wrap?
I've been trying not to use my stuff.
I love it, Ivar, when you do that. See, that's why I love the spell system that we use, because it's more powerful, but it really kind of, you think really hard about what you're about to do before you do it.
Hey, Jason. I have Ivory with me.
We'll say Ivory's been with you the whole time. That's fine.
That there's a loft. I could climb up there. There's an opening up
You're
there.
kind of looking up. The chain pulley is about 18 feet above you, like dangling short on the pulley. The slides are open. You can see the barrels. No obvious way to climb up there other than the fact that it's, a 20-foot.
I got claws and a climbing speed of 20.
You
There
can
you
Certainly
go.
give it a try.
I'm gonna climb up.
Okay.
Well, if you have a climbing speed, that means
Um,
you shouldn't have to.
Well,
Make
it
a-
depends on the surface that you're climbing. Go ahead and give me acrobatics with
Irritating, what you
advantage.
do, you can't
I already have advantage on acrobatics. Can I
That's fine.
do it double advantage?
I will say you can treat it as not rough terrain.
do. Full advantage.
Therefore, you can move your full 20 feet.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's going to be rough terrain.
Roll 60.
17 and 4, 21.
21. You kind of put your claws in and you start to scale up and up and up, and you go to pull yourself in. And as you kind of poke your head over and look inside, give me a perception check.
Dart in the head.
Ew, my eye. 19.
19. The whole loft seems to be filled with barrels. You can see that the barrels are labeled and they're sealed. And it's a variety of different types of meat and stuff that you would expect them to have to feed the ice raptors. There's one barrel that's tipped over and the lid's open, and there's like kind of like a splatter mess around it where meat was, but you no longer can see anything around it other than like what was ever preserving it. It's now spilled out. Other than that, it's just staring through rows and rows of barrels. Maybe there's another way out of here, but right now you can't see it from where you are.
I don't see anyone. I'm gonna climb in.
Okay.
You're not
Pull
gonna
yourself
lower
in.
the chain to us.
I can't do that while hanging.
Oh, she's so good at metagaming, isn't she?
I'm calling up to you. You're not gonna lower that to us, are you?
Oh, there goes our stealth.
Mhm.
See, he rolled something.
All of the mummy.
I'm gonna lower the chain.
Turn to
You
skeletons.
turn and you see that there's a crank, and you chain comes down.
It's super loud.
Pretty loud.
Ching, 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 ching.
All right, and then looking around. More.
Yeah, looking around, just rows and rows of barrels. The one that's tipped over, and in the far right-hand corner of the floor you're on, you can see the beginnings of a stairwell that go down.
I'm gonna start.
Yeah, you start climbing up. Relatively easy now that you have access to the chain. There are a few minutes. Are you going up as well? You and Jerry now up in the loft, and now you can see everything that DJ's pointed out and showing you where everything is that she can see.
I'm gonna look out now that we're at a higher vantage point. I'm gonna look out at the ice raptor fields and see if I can see anyone or anything. I
I
mean,
have a
Give me a
feeling I
perception
know what
check.
happened.
Huh?
I have a feeling I know what happened.
Is this a moment?
I'm gonna check the meat. Is it wolf meat?
Give me a nature check.
9 perception again. 9.
Oh, nature. Oh, that's not too bad. A 12.
12? You've seen bear meat before? This ain't bear meat. The side says bear meat, and then you go over to the one that says possum. But it all looks like the same meat. You're not sure what meat it is.
I'll probe it.
It matches wolf DNA.
Okay. This is wolf meat. You know what was in the wolf meat? You know where they got the wolf meat? Someone sold that wolf meat for the raptors.
Are you suggesting that the raptors are completely infested in bugs?
I don't know, but it's possible.
What'd you get for your perception?
9.
9. Looking out, now that you're up in the loft and looking, not a single ice raptor in sight.
Huh.
Just bare, empty fields.
Do we hear screams of the drovers?
No sounds.
What's that?
No sounds.
Okay.
Just
Because they bite the face off first. Can't scream without a face.
I think they paralyze them first. Remember?
Yeah.
They can't scream.
They spit in their
That's so
face
funny.
first. Yeah.
Oh my god.
See, now I want to watch Jurassic Park.
Oh, they have a new one coming out.
That's they do. That's not what I want to watch tonight.
What do you want to watch tonight?
Not Jurassic
Tremors?
Park.
And you know who's in it? Laura Dern.
Is she?
Yeah,
Oh, how funny.
Who's
Yeah.
Laura Dern?
Laura Dern, the one that was in the original one.
The
First
blonde.
one, yeah.
Blonde.
Her, she's cool.
And the guy.
Jara woman.
The
Oh yeah, that's right.
original
He's in
guy.
it too. Yeah.
They got all of them, didn't they?
Wasn't it all about the world coming to an end because the dinosaurs are repopulating the world or something like that?
I have no idea. It looks so.
Which is
All right,
perfect. What I want to watch.
So, can you tell with your proby thing if the meat was infected with eggs?
Is that a thing?
I mean,
That's
there's
what
a
I'm asking.
limit
I'm
to
asking
what.
you.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a limit, and it's a
Yeah.
good question, and you're thinking about it. The only thing that you pick up on, well, give me a survival check.
So let me ask you something. This is what I'll look at. So we don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Do we see
The barrel. Does it look like it was like broken it out from the inside out?
No, it looks like it was tipped over.
Tipped over.
The other thing that you notice, since you're focusing more on the barrels, there is a metal like band at the bottom with some writing on it,
Uh-huh.
and it says Tawny Guild Limited on the side of it. And then above it is another metal plate with an etching of a timestamp that's like maybe 3 weeks old. So you get the feeling these were packaged and done about 3 weeks ago.
So way
Which is
before the wolf
before
thing
the
happened.
wolf thing?
that you were aware
Their
of
tea
it.
was still warm.
Down on the ranch it was, yeah.
Okay, so let's go downstairs and see what's going on.
Slowly.
You guys being
Quietly.
stealthy or
Worst-
You guys
worst
have better
decision
sight
ever.
than me. Can you see anything
Yeah,
from a distance
wait,
from, from our vantage point on
You
top
know what?
of the
I'm gonna go
barn?
in. I'm gonna go invisible,
watch as Jerry goes invisible.
and I'm gonna go down. I'll be back.
You watch. You can just barely make out at first his footfalls as he kind of guides
Before he
himself through the
Before he left.
barrels.
Could we tell if there were any any of those insect feet prints
Not that you saw, no,
in like the tipped over by the tipped barrel?
no.
Okay.
In fact, that's strange because you know, just as Jerry goes invisible and leaves, and you start focusing more on the tipped barrel, you're looking at it, and that's when you see there's a slight crack in the planking under where the barrel was sitting on top, like something underneath pulled away at it. And that's when you kind of see like a strange kind of crystalline frozen sludge kind of pushed up and under, like something pulled at the plank and cracked the plank and then caused the barrel to tip. So when you realize the floor you're standing on, there's about a 1/4-inch gap in it. You can actually see darkness down below just as you get to the top of the stairs to look down, and that's when the smell hits you.
You said there's like some
Like a vegetative, rotted trash smell that hits you.
compost.
Continue down.
I'm gonna follow Jerry.
You said there's some crystal
Slowly.
line stuff.
And it's like a weird sludge that's come up through the planking of the floor, and it looks like it broke the plank and then caused the barrel to fall over.
So it's more of a sludge, not actual crystals.
It's weird. It's got like a weird,
Like,
gluey, kind of hard, tactile feel to it. It's very strange.
Jerry, can you take some of this?
He's already gone.
He's already gone.
You scoop up a bit.
Yeah.
As you give me a strength save.
You burnt. Never touched anything in any of his games. Don't you know that?
Yes. 5 plus 3, so 8.
8. They're already down the stairs, and you're like,
No, I'm at the top of the stairs.
You're at the
I
top?
didn't go down yet.
well, you can't follow him because he's invisible anyways, but you kind of follow in the direction he went, and you're like, yeah, you just hack off your hand and pull away your wrist, and your hand's just stuck in that viscous, kind of mucusy stuff.
Don't touch
And
the
your
mucus.
little Deadpool baby hand is starting to grow back.
Trademarks.
Oh yeah, your pool dead baby hand is growing back.
So much better.
What's that trail? Down with it.
No.
There's just some. It's spicier.
No, I want spice.
The demon
I don't want
gets
to eat
whatever you
freeze
want.
dried scorpion tail.
It's really.
If it's printed on the
That's whatever you
bag,
want.
that's what's
That's right.
in the bag.
We don't want to get burned.
Jerry, give me a perception check as you come down into the darkened interior of the barn.
$21.
21.
Mine's looking slow tonight.
One, 21. Don't touch the sticky shit. She touched it.
It's kind of just a quick, simple dropping stairwell. You know, it's obviously used to bring things up and down in greater
Right.
ease. But then as you come down, the barn for the most part's empty. You can see the stalls on the right and left. You see there's 6 on either side. You can see the individual ice raptors kind of poke their noses out and then poke their heads back in. The full length of the barn is now in front of you. See where the big, giant, heavy beam's been dropped, you know, behind the door and the metal slots. Then you look up the floorboard, you can see this sludge. It's stuck. And then you see strands hanging from it. And then something kind of spinning in it, like something's been caught in it. It's hard to tell. I have to get closer.
I bet.
Don't touch the sludge, Jerry.
You can now begin to see some of this as Jerry's pointing everything out. And
Oh.
now you can hear the
I'll tell him. I'll
of
tell
the
him.
raptors kind of
Thank
shifting
you,
out. They can smell you.
Jade.
I'll go look at
I'm
it.
gonna message because she tells me I'm gonna message Jerry. Don't touch the sludge.
How do you know I'm looking at Sledge? Quit metagaming.
She's behind you.
Oh, you're behind me. Okay.
But I'm invisible. But still,
She's
She-
invisible
she
and I'm
told me-
invisible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm not invisible.
I'm invisible.
I told her,
Or
and
whatever
she's
then.
messaging you.
That way, all 3 of us know not to touch the sludge.
It's a very important thing to know.
All right.
Oh, she
Yeah.
definitely knows it now.
There could be
And
more
I'm gonna
sludge
say-
down there. Just don't touch the sludge.
I'm gonna tell him Willa's hand got stuck and we had to cut it off. Message. Yes.
I'll go look at what's
Second.
spinning on the bottom of it.
Um,
I'm not gonna
It's-
touch it. But
yeah, it's a crow.
Oh,
Like
it's just
something
caught
flew
in
into it. Yeah, just kind of got caught in it, and it's recently dead. Like it's suffocated within the last half hour or so. You're now standing near the middle of the barn, kind of looking around. The ice raptors are poking their noses out like they're smelling something, but they're kind of like looking where they think you are, but then they don't see you, and they're like very confused.
I'll go over to the barn door.
What?
So exhausted.
How does this thing work to like let the barn door open?
2 metal brackets. You have to push up on the crossbeam.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't look very sophisticated. You can see where Willa pulled her fingers up underneath and see scrape marks from where she fell short from where the bar was.
Okay.
He's eating my hand.
I'll
Of
use
course it
my mage hand to lift it because I'm not strong enough.
it's too heavy.
It's too heavy.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
check is it's
Damn it.
Mage
utilitarian.
hand's only like
Would I
10
know
pounds.
that, or do I have to mark off my mage hand?
I would say you would have known that. That's one of your spells that you've come to rely on because of your kind of.
Your mage hand's not a cantrip?
No, it's an ability. I get to use once a day.
Yeah,
I don't really like
part of
to
his
use it.
his psychic powers that he has.
Okay.
What are you two doing at this point? Because Jerry is now,
I'm gonna start creeping down the stairs. I don't know where he is. so
Right.
I'm just gonna start creeping
as
down.
far
the
as you know,
stairs
he's
and
somewhere in
see.
the barn. And as you creep down into the main barn structure, you start to look around. You now see that strand of something hanging. See now where it shot up maybe and hit the floorboards, and now it makes sense to why that one barrel fell over. Looking around, give me a perception check. You're now at the top of the stairs.
I'm actually really curious about this sticky stuff. I want to
Okay.
know what it is, and
Okay.
I want to see if I can absorb it.
Give me a con save.
Can't
16
we well
plus
enough
3,
alone?
19.
19. As you begin to touch it yet again, but this time you're trying to control your interaction with it. A couple of the tendrils of your vines kind of penetrate into it, and within a moment that they touch,
Mhm.
they immediately start to take on that same translucent form that is the substance.
Mhm.
You take half of 41 points of necrotic damage.
Wow, that hurt.
And you begin to feel this acidic, kind of crystalline,
So I took 20 damage?
substance try to overtake your circulatory system, and then you let go before it does.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you get this image in your mind that whatever that was, there was something in it that just tried to like take you over, but at a very small, almost microscopic level.
Did it feel like the bug thing? I don't know. Cool.
Hard
I
to
didn't-
tell.
I wasn't
Give
trying
me a nature check. See if maybe you can kind of.
Probably not. That's a 13.
13? I would say that'd be high enough that you remember one thing that you remember Jerry saying
Mm-hmm.
when he discovered those creatures on the back of their necks.
Mm-hmm.
They must have some kind of numbing agent. Except the calculus of what size of something would be to create this much numbing agent is a little disconcerting.
I mean, I barely touched it. It did a lot of damage.
It is acidic. It's toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the feeling that exposure to air has crystallized it. And after you disturbed it and tried to get to the more kind of like elastic middle portion of whatever it is, that exposed you to whatever this stuff is. You can even now feel like a neuropathy effect where your fingertips and your arms have this weird numbness there, almost like your nervous system almost collapsed as well.
Definitely don't touch the goo.
So, what'd you get for your perception?
16.
Yeah, looking around, you notice that all of the ice raptors turn with their snouts out towards you, and they see you, and they, their little tongues are coming out, their beaks are clacking, their heads are barely tall enough to even reach the edge of the corral doors to kind of, and they just seem to like ignore you now and
Does
go back.
it look like something spit that up there?
Kind of.
Thinking back to when I got that mental picture of those larger insects, and then what I know of the smaller insects. Could one of those larger ones have spit that stuff up there?
Maybe give me a nature check, see if you can put 2 and 2 together. Or the omegas.
That'd be like a, what is it? Nature? So 10.
10? Hard to tell. I mean,
Do I see any like tracks on the ground that look like?
looking around, give me a survival check.
Why do you keep picking shit that I'm bad at? Oh, not too bad. Not dirty 20. Oh no, 23.
Looking. There are tracks of something creating like a round print. So it looks like it
Like
was
a centipede type thing, or spider.
hard to tell. I mean, it's an unfamiliar print, but now you're noticing a lot of them. You realize the barn floor is like a mix of stone and vegetation, and that's what you're beginning to smell, like a rotted vegetation smell. And now you can see these tracks everywhere. And then that's when you notice that one of the raptors, the tracks kind of lead over to where the raptor is. And that's the only one you begin to realize that you weren't seeing the snout come out of. You thought you were. Then you look and you realize nothing's been poking its head out of that one particular corral.
There's a suspicious corral over here.
Say that in my head.
Well, yeah, if you can hear it. Are you 60 feet away from me?
Mm-hmm.
We all are, aren't we?
Yeah, you're now
Okay.
back at the top of the stair coming down.
I'll
She's at the
do that.
bottom.
Yeah, in their minds.
And now you looking, you notice too that
There's some strange tracks down here. It looks like
Some
something
little
maybe spit that gob of viscous fluid up onto the ceiling.
See into it.
give him a perception check. He's almost asleep.
Can you roll for me?
When you,
Put it in her mouth. She can spit it into the dice box.
roll good because she'll never forgive me.
It's +2.
Jesus.
That's a 6.
A 6 and a 5.
You're too far away. If you got closer, you could probably see better.
Oh, I'm trying to get him out.
I know.
Okay.
Nothing cuter than a sleeping baby.
Laughing baby's pretty cute.
No, sleeping babies, when you're
Or 10
parents,
times cuter
I can
than a
assure you,
awake
is
baby.
10 times cuter than a laughing
Infinitely more
baby.
cute. Him sleeping is my favorite.
Are you getting closer?
I'm getting
Slightly.
Are you coming down the stairs?
Uh-huh.
You watch to see her coming down the stairs.
Okay.
Watch as she walks by your invisible form as you're still kind of in the middle of the barn. She walks up to the corral. Watch as she pokes her head around. As you poke your head around, DJ, to look inside, you can see kind of eviscerated remains of an ice raptor. It's just been torn to shreds.
Dear.
The back half of the corral is broken open, and there's like a 6-foot hole that something's broken through, and you see tracks in the snow leading out towards the nearby ridgeline, where a small stand of forest, like maybe where they harvest to get wood from, is just kind of going off in that direction.
And the tracks look insect-like, or
Give me a survival check.
Didn't he say that there was like a spheres of something, or didn't you say like
ooh,
stuff?
21.
The footprints are like perfectly round.
Okay, so it's a footprint. For some reason, I was imagining.
No, there's a sphere hanging down, and it's got a
Crow,
raven
dead
or
crow.
crow in it.
Wrapped up inside
Oh, okay.
of it, like it got trapped in it somehow.
Okay, that's what I was.
What'd you get?
21.
I mean, they match the other prints that you saw in the barn.
Up above?
No, down below.
Okay.
Let's go back. and
Something
get
very
our
large
horses.
with insect imprinting, maybe 8 legs or more,
I'm gonna
broke
tell.
out of the back of the corral after eating the ice raptor.
All right.
I'm gonna tell them that.
Okay.
Let's go get the drovers and get
Let's
these
go
11.
get the drovers. Have them pack up the raptors and have them head out toward the caravan.
Yeah, we may have
We'll
to.
break off from them and follow the tracks.
Mhm. Do I see human footprints following? Or hobgoblin footprints following?
No humanoid footprints that you can see.
No humanoid footprints. Do I see any remains of? Because
Just the ice raptor.
there's
So
4
they-
people.
Came in, but none came out.
There's 4 humanoids missing, guys.
At least. There's supposed
That
to
splat up on the roof, is there humanoids stuck to the roof? or anything?
be- I did mention that I wanted to stare up when I first.
Yeah, I mean, looking, it's not enough mass
Okay,
to
so
have
the-
someone in
yeah,
it.
Okay.
It's just a big gooey mass that takes up like a 3-foot diameter section up underneath the
I
floorboards
don't know. what
in the
happened.
ceiling, and
I'm losing it. Okay.
Is there a
Alright.
trapdoor?
give me investigation.
Pick one of my dice.
Oh, that's the same one I was gonna pick.
Oh,
Cocked.
Cocked.
Jesus.
What
I
you
like
get?
the cocked better.
At least it's
5.
not a natural one.
This is like the lowest rolling game I've ever been in.
5.
Pretty bad.
I can roll. I mean, you're giving me advantage on a roll, and I roll a 5 and a 6.
Yeah.
Come on.
What's your passive perception, however?
Oh, that one was a 15.
We don't have passive
Yes,
perception.
we do.
Yeah, we do.
We just don't have
Minus
proficiency.
Just no proficiency in it.
Minus 12.
Okay.
How do you get your passive perception?
It's just 10 plus your
10 plus your wisdom.
your-
Wisdom modifier.
Oh, 10
Or-
plus your wisdom.
or
modifier.
perception, isn't it? Or
So
It's 10 plus your wisdom.
just your wisdom.
so 14.
Normally your proficiency, but we don't use proficiency.
So
anymore.
14.
14, that's actually pretty good. When DJ comes out of the corral and you're kind of staring at her and the corral door is left open so you can see inside, you begin to look at the prints and you notice the prints, but then you see a very large brass iron ring underneath some of the vegetative material.
Defiant Jewel.
All right. There's
Oh,
a
wait.
trap door
No,
right
it
here,
is jade.
possibly.
Right. Defiant Jewel is yesterday's game.
She's Jade. Yeah. I was like trying
Oh
to
shit,
figure out
I
why.
didn't change names today.
Yeah,
That's
I was trying to
horrible.
figure out why she was.
Why is she DJ all of a sudden?
Yeah, that's what I was
Like
wondering.
if
I
she got like a
know.
double trim table.
Well, you're supposed
That
to
was
be
yesterday.
Willa. I totally forgotten to change the name.
Okay, so Tobias is gonna go ahead and.
It's been a long week.
It has been
Yeah,
a long
see, I
week.
told you
And
guys.
it's Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to be DJ, right? You're supposed to be
Jade gift.
Jade Gift.
Jade
You and
Gift.
your damn tabaxis.
I know.
Would have been
I like my weird names.
would have been
Funny.
easier if you were. I don't know.
I like how
Uh-huh.
Jerry's didn't change though.
Jerry.
Or mine.
Jerry.
Jerry.
Right.
So you hear Jerry point out near your foot. There's a big metal ring right by your foot.
So I'm gonna open it.
You strength check.
You open it. Do you get close to it?
You're such an ass.
No, I check for traps. I love that. You do
8.
that.
It's pretty like you're.
Which hand are you using?
Do you need some help, Jade?
Yeah.
I'm going to assist her.
Somebody make a strength check.
Is
Oh,
your strength higher?
Somebody.
I have a +3.
I have a
Which
plus
hand
1.
are you using?
Okay.
Her little baby pool dead hand.
If it's athletics, then I get advantage.
Are you looking
Strength
down
check.
at the trap when you open it, or are you looking away?
I would be a 14.
14. It gives a little bit,
Mhm.
but you feel like it's latched from the other side.
I'm gonna knock on it.
Fine.
Yeah, and then you feel something cut into your vine fingers, like a blade.
Hold on. Knock.
Hello?
Wait. What's his name? Draven?
That hurt.
Yeah,
Yo.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
yeah.
What
How are
happened?
you not dead?
It
How did that thing not eat you?
well, it left through a hole in your. It made a hole in the barn and left.
You hear
Whatever it was.
like a heavy metal sound of something being drawn across, and then you watch as it gets pushed up,
We'll help him.
and then a very kind of like heavy set orange and blackened skinned hobgoblin with curly white hair and one yellow eye and kind of like a burnt scar on his other
Good
He
to see you're not
starts
dead.
pull. Holy shit!
Aaron. Shit, what's his last name? Out of character.
He's just the
wait.
half orc guy.
No, he's got a last name.
Aaron sent us to
Snor-
pick up
uh,
some
Aaron sent us to pick up
raptors,
a dozen raptors.
Wind splitter.
Windspin.
and then we found out it looked like
Windsplitter.
you had been.
Wind splitter.
There was
Windsplitter?
suspicious things here, and
Yeah, he like pulls himself out and he's like,
Windspin.
it's like holding his shoulder and you see a huge gash like in his shoulder. He reaches down and pulls his wife out and his older daughter and then their 2 kids and
It ate one of the raptors that was in here.
What was it that you saw?
I don't know what it was.
Can you describe what you saw on it? Did it have pincers? Was it gray?
Could you draw it?
well,
I think I.
I
can draw it.
describe it
Let's have him draw it,
that I
guys.
saw in my mind, the big ones.
No, it didn't quite look like that.
Let's have him draw it, guys.
Can we have one line?
You
of-
present him the paper.
Can we not
saying
have
versus
15 enemies in the first 6 games? Can we just have like one main enemy? We have to have 15 coming at us.
Gotta be 15, man.
As he
Okay.
sits
We're
there,
too good for that.
like the terrified family that comes out with him, they kind of sit on benches and near crates to kind of recover from the trauma that just
Don't touch
happened.
that stuff.
And I'm gonna
Yeah,
yeah,
don't
don't
touch
touch
the goo.
the goo.
It's,
Oh yeah, we know. Yeah.
it's very painful.
Can I pet them?
Yeah. It's
And I
very-
point to the ice rip. Can I pet them?
Yeah, it might be a bit skittish after what happened. I can't
Oh.
guarantee they won't take your hand off.
Give him the paper.
Yeah, and then he just kind of like starts drawing something in the ground.
Wait, I have paper.
It's the paper from the.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
Starts
from the
drawing
back of it.
sketching. As you look over his shoulder, it looks identical to the creature that you took out of, or that you destroyed over in the encampment. Not quite like the ones in the wolf. A little physically different.
Right.
But then
Like
he
the one
says,
I
I think maybe it stood 8 feet tall, maybe
8
about
feet
15 feet
tall?
long. And its tail, that bob, holy shit, that thing was lethal.
I'm gonna say in Jerry's mind, shit. Do you think those creatures got a giant?
like an ice giant.
Mm-hmm. You didn't hear that, but
No.
Like a frost giant? Maybe. I don't know. I don't have had enough data to make a logical conclusion to
You guys hear,
Only facts, no assumptions.
you see a little red light going across Jerry's
I
eyes.
well, are you
signing on to AOL.
yeah. Shh, you've got mail. No, this isn't the same insect.
It
From Insect
from
Horde
its
to Jerry.
design, it seems a lot like the smaller ones that you guys dealt with, but
But huge.
very large. The way he's describing it.
Was it what? Oh, at Insect Horde to Jerry. Let's leave us alone.
You guys watch as a
This
big
comes from your
pin
home
falls
planet.
out of the sky.
You've got mail. My
Okay.
dad
Are
actually.
you sure it's
changed-
gone?
Well,
You can't
Well,
say
it
it
went.
back.
It went through that hole.
Goes off in that direction here. What's up on that ridge up there?
That's where we harvest wood for the ranch. It's a square mile forest.
It might come back
Well,
unless we
it's
go hunt
out
it
there
down.
now. We need to collect our raptors and get back to the caravan.
Shouldn't we kill it so it doesn't, do more harm?
Well, we've been assigned a mission.
Yes, we have. And
Yeah, but we can send the ice raptors back with the drovers, and
we're
we can.
supposed to
Yeah,
watch
but
them,
we're
though.
supposed to be with the drovers to make sure nothing happens to them.
That's pun.
Well,
Jerry hands the hobgoblin some trout.
perhaps we
Oh, this is very good, thank you.
should we take
Quite lovely.
the family with us. I don't think they will be okay here alone
Why do they call these pecans? Of course I can be. On
because they're little brains of the nut tree.
What do you mean, joke? Oh, you mean Aaron sent with you to pick up the
Jerry's
ice
got a
raptor.
joke about chickpeas
Yeah.
and garbanzo beans.
So
Kidding. Well,
Well, anyway,
it's up to them if they go with us or not.
Draven gets up and heads over to the door and takes the thing off and kind of opens the doors. Well,
Why was there footprints by your window? Did that attack you in your house?
I was out here getting the order ready. My wife and the children snuck out the windows. She came out the kitchen and then had the children and our older daughter climb out the window. And then they made their way up here. They told me they heard something around the front of the house. And they snuck out to tell me this. When they got up here, I could see it climbing over the house, on top of it, came down the other side, and it's almost like it could smell us or something. And then that's when I barred the doors and immediately hid the family down in the storm shelter.
which way did it come from?
From the house
From the front of the house?
where she told me she saw it.
I'm gonna look at the wife. Which way was it coming from?
It was near the front of the house. I don't know where direction it
inside
came
when
from.
they heard
We
the
were
noise.
inside.
And out of character, the house is facing south.
is facing west and south. Yes,
Okay.
up on the ridge.
Okay.
You guys are about 1,000 feet away from it in the barn. And then to your like northeast, you can see where the edge of the wood line would be, where they would harvest the trees from.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Guys, do we want to go into the forest and try and find it?
Well,
No.
we could send Jerry
Well,
back
Jerry
with the
never wants
caravan.
to. That would be like sending the caravan on its own.
But we'd be completing the mission. Jerry's very tough when he wants to be.
Trevor's like, "Are you guys okay?"
Well, we have a mission to deliver those, but
Yeah. Well, now that I know where it is, I'm sure I can get some people together and go deal with it. I mean, it only got away with what it got away with because it caught us by surprise. I just didn't want to risk my family.
that's very
Oh, very good. So you have it under control. All right, let's go back to the caravan.
all right. If you feel
Send us a message and let us know that you've dealt with it, please.
perhaps maybe you want to go with us, so you can
No,
gather
I'm-
people.
This is the frontier, dear. This is what life is out here sometimes.
It's just seems so open. I'm so used to family being everywhere.
Don't pay any attention to her.
Oh, why not?
It's okay.
You'll be confused.
You like your small hands. Very interesting. Anyways, I'll start getting the raptors prepared. You guys head back down to the drovers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You get to the front of the house. See your harness and tack hanging from the hitching poles. The blood-smeared stain of the snow around the
I
wagons.
knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yep.
Are they
Mhm.
dead? Oh, this.
Leading off into the direction of the forest line.
So it ate our horses and the horses attached to the wagon
Is this a second one?
and the drovers. Did it eat the drovers?
Give me survival. Give me investigation.
Well,
I go in this. I go in the house and go to bed.
Dirty
I
20.
rolled a 2 and a 3.
Oh God.
Dirty 20.
Swear to God.
Dirty 20.
well.
You see no remains of the drovers. And then you hear a whimpering sound, and there are the three brothers are up on the roof of the ranch,
Oh, so they're not dead. That's
Like-
good.
peering over the edge, and they see you,
I'm glad you were paying attention.
and they just start helping each other down off the roof.
How was your snack time?
Well, what ate the horses?
Because didn't you say to keep an eye out, and they said it's snack time, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. What ate the horses?
Well, probably not gonna believe this. There were 3 of them,
3 of them.
and to be fair, we were keeping an eye out. That's the only reason we made it on the roof. They ate your horses so fast it gave us enough time to get up on the roof. But their big long tails. Maybe
We'll hold up the picture. They look like this.
they looked a lot like that. They were maybe 6 feet long, 5 feet wide. It was pretty terrifying.
Which way
Can
did
we go
they
back
go?
now?
We don't have any horses.
Which way did they go?
Shit. They went back towards the tree line.
Let's
We're
Let's
gonna
go
have
tell
to
Draven.
stake you down tonight to draw them to us. Just messing with you.
Immediately panic and
I
run.
hand them each a red
you
shirt.
said 3 3 that were 6 feet.
Yes. 6 feet long, 8, 10 feet wide, tails. They're creepy crawly looking insect things.
Yeah.
I have a funny
Yeah,
smell
I like
about them
this
too.
story. They sold those horses.
See the blood everywhere. Right.
Right. So
So now we have no way of getting back.
Sold
All
it
the
to
horses are dead.
Well, we can walk.
Hey,
then,
Jerry,
and we can pull the
can you probe
wagons.
that blood?
It's probably just horse.
Why? It's horse blood.
You could pull the wagon.
No. I'm not gonna pull the wagon.
Then
This
we can
mission
finish
is
our
now
mission.
unable to finish our mission. So now we can just go about
If you pull the wagon, we don't even need the drovers.
trying to get ourselves killed in a square mile forest of trees up there with vicious blood sucking insects.
Okay,
Oh,
I
you
think
notice that Jerry's skin color is like changing. Like he's very hyperbolic and
just
blotchy.
probe the blood.
Jerry, you're turning pink and blue and green.
if you probe the blood, then if we need to, have you pull the wagon, you can't. We can't pull the wagon in the form that
Horses
we're in
run
now.
faster, Jerry.
I'm not probing the blood because I'll never pull a wagon.
Horses run faster,
Do you
Jerry.
see those things? They're the stupidest animal on this planet.
If
practically.
you were a horse, then you would be the smartest horse on the planet.
Why am I getting Mr. Ed overtones here? A horse is a horse, of course, of course.
How many insects do you see, Jerry? No, I'm not doing that.
No, of course you're not doing that because you can speak telepathically to us.
I'll have to
So,
mind spike you
We might have to walk back.
to shit
With
you
the
up.
wagon.
yeah. We're going to have to pull the wagon back.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a mile, right?
You guys are only about 30 minutes outside of town. In
Right.
fact, being up on the ridgeline with the ranch behind you, and now Draven and the rest of the family arriving, and
I'm going to
the
tell
drovers are
Raven-
there. You're all looking down on the roadway pathway that takes to the main road,
Yeah.
and then to the right, you watch as the main road eventually fades into the outskirts of
Are the
town.
raptors like big enough to ride?
Possibly.
For you, not for me.
Oh,
They're pretty
too
girthy.
bad.
But you said they're only like 4 feet tall.
Have you? Well, I mean, 4 feet to like the shoulder.
Like a
Yeah, like an ostrich though. So if you were to do head to ground, maybe about 7 feet tall.
Oh, okay.
So it's like riding ostriches.
I'll ask,
Kind of. Just they're more lizard-like than bird-like.
I'll ask
Alright.
Dilhole. No, what's his
So
name?
we're gonna ask Draven.
Asshole.
I'm gonna tell
Why do you
Draven.
keep channeling Tobias in every game?
I'm not. I'm
Seriously.
not.
We're gonna I'm gonna tell Draven
I'm
that
trying not to.
3 more 6-foot ones attacked our horses and ate them.
He's looking around, sees the 3 drovers kind of milling, shuffling their feet, and kind of like quiet panic. And you know what? We haven't been in town for a while.
Where's the rest of your flock?
Yeah, about that. Where are they?
They were
I,
there a
did-
minute
saw
ago.
I sensed them earlier, remember?
We saw them when we came up, but I
They're all
don't
gone.
see them now.
They are naturally instinctual when it comes to predatory response. I've got 11 left up. I've got the 3 of you,
We probably should go grab
the
them
3
now.
drovers, and my 4 family members.
We
That
probably should.
is 10. I've got enough. They're not designed for it, but shall we try to ride them out of here?
Sure.
I
How do they do with cats? Okay.
Can I use the vines to attach her to the bird? Or the
well,
lizard?
the problem's not the cat, the bird. The problem's the raptor, and
I'm
Lizard bird.
yeah. Speaking of hybrid creatures, I mean, the best we can do. I mean, I don't keep horses out here, so normally we
That's
walk into
fine.
town.
Just show me where I can get one. And
I know where you can get one. See that blood stain?
You should get
No,
passive aggressive
I'm
side
not
eye
talking
from
about
Jerry.
that. I'm talking about a raptor.
While you're on it, bro. Message. I messaged that, not say it out loud.
So eventually, the drovers each have like clubs in hand just because they're kind of paranoid right now. And the family and everybody, you all kind of make your way back up to the barn.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the small storage areas within the barn, he's pulling down tack and saddles and like everything that you would need for small ponies.
I look at the mom,
He
the
has
wife,
these
and
things,
ask,
but-
"Is there anything in the house that you guys might need while we're in town?"
We can come back for it later, dear.
Okay.
It's just stuff.
Can I get an
Just
insight check? They have saddles and stuff for small ponies, but he just clearly said that they don't keep horses on this.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean you can't have.
Why would you
Insight
have
check.
Why would
We
you have,
attack based on that.
why would you have saddles and no horses? They're expensive. 15 plus 3, so 18.
We get the feel they were left here.
They were left.
He recently bought the property,
Okay.
so
There's some
it's
blood soaked ones
possible.
over there if we need any.
Yeah.
The insects didn't eat the tack.
No, they were very cautious in what they consumed. In fact, you're knowledgeable enough to know that not a bit of scrap of anything was left behind. They were very precise in their consumption. No
So
bone, no meat.
But they
No skin.
eviscerated and didn't eat the raptor.
Yeah, it's true.
it's interesting. Because the ones that we knew
Have you ever
before-
tasted a raptor?
I'm just my concern. And I tell you
I
two.
think they taste like chicken.
And while you guys are having this conversation, he's busy going
Mhm.
from corral to corral, like saddling things up, putting.
I'm telling you guys this, not them. Kind of like, my concern is we've been dealing with things taking over the brains of creatures. How do we know these raptors aren't infested with bugs?
We don't, unless Jerry probes them all.
I break my probe in half. There's no fun anymore.
Your
You watch
wishes.
as the
No.
TARDIS dissolve.
Use it once and they just want you to use it all the time.
Oh,
We know-
that's a
we
very
know you
close
have
to
superpowers.
in-game trait.
Hey, Jade is really, really looking forward to seeing the little ice fox again.
Mm-hmm.
We know you have superpowers now.
I have superpowers. It's magic.
Magic is superpowers.
It's guarding. He's guarding the door too. He can't even be moved.
She want me to pee on you?
No, that costs extra.
How much extra? How much does that usually go for? Trump would
Toyota
know.
Land Cruiser.
Trump would know.
Chickpeas.
Chickpeas.
Oh God. So Jerry, you wanna?
Yeah, Jerry, please make sure that the ice
I'm just
raptor
a
that I'm
prober
about
to
to
you
get
guys
on
now.
does not have an insect.
I'm
in it.
just I'm just a common prober to you guys now.
They're not common, so you're still special.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to, but there's a good chance that if they are infested, they will just consume more people, and we'll have to go kill more things.
We're about giving up on this planet.
Oh. This planet
Just file my report.
report?
Planet?
Yes,
Please.
the rock you live on. It's
Please.
spinning in the atmosphere.
We all live
Spinning
on
in
this rock.
space.
Yes, tell us more. What do you mean, Jerry? Your words are confusing me.
It's my magic. I know things. My God tells me things.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What sort of things? I'm curious about religion.
We're on the back of a turtle.
On the back of the turtle.
Yes, a huge turtle.
Turtle.
Swimming in the endless ocean of eternity.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Jason's gonna look like in 2 hours.
Is there three?
I should wish.
Is there 3 elephants holding up that turtle?
Do you have a onesie for Jason?
No. It's like
No onesie, just
Don't tease her. She might get me a romper.
We have sleepers.
put the feet in.
Well, I have ones with feet and ones without feet because sometimes the ones with feet get too warm.
We gotta have the anti-hobo spider mesh on the butt
Oh,
area.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So trauma.
That's horrible. I'm so
That
scared.
was
of-
so
I'm
bad.
afraid of
I had a.
spiders.
It was that big.
It was.
It was horrific what that got infected to.
Oh my
It
god.
was so bad.
You need to take a picture?
Oh,
I
God,
don't want
no.
to remember that.
Jerry,
Like show the doctor.
if you examine the raptors, I'll give you a sap sampling. I did try to absorb some of that goo up there. I did.
It's like 6 months finally putting out.
Took me 6 months to get the
It's like a-
probe in her, and now it's happening.
It's like I cut my fingers. Like, here's some sap. And I just tried to absorb that goo up there. It didn't feel good.
Look at me.
You're even interested in doing that anymore. Such a. Yeah, he's pretty intrigued by her because she's like a
She's
one-off.
weird as fuck, and she's
Yeah,
definitely the most
yeah.
one-off. I mean, the only other more one-off individual you've ever met is yourself.
I just touch all the. I pretend I probe all the.
You should pretend to.
velociraptors,
You pretend.
And I just look and I go, no, they're clean.
We're gonna get murdered in our
Insight
sleep.
check.
Seriously. Inside.
As far as you can tell, they seem fine.
Okay.
No sign of infestation, and you know what to look for. You know
Yeah.
where the wounds would be, primarily back near the base of this,
Skull and
the
everything.
skull and near the spinal
But it seemed
point
like
of spinal entry, or at the base of the back.
Okay.
Okay, so like where I had touched the
Mhm.
goo, I'm actually gonna cut
Grab
that
your
bit
roots.
off.
Okay.
And I'm actually like, you better have your vial or your
No, just
Wand.
turn around and grab your roots.
it doesn't work like that, Jerry.
I don't have a exit. I don't have an exit.
Basically, yeah.
There's just like a knot hole in her trunk.
I do mitosis, meiosis, and osmosis.
Okay, yeah. So
I breathe through.
I will go ahead and get that some of that sap,
It's, like,
some of that sweet sap.
Okay.
it's probably a little different than it probably normally would be too.
Yeah.
Oh, she's human. She's faking this. It's a costume. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Something about cosplay incorporated.
That's right. What? What's a Furby?
Oh goodness.
What? Yeah,
A
wait.
furry.
No, yeah, furry. No. What's a Barky?
A barky.
Oh, geez.
People that are in love with trees. Oh, okay. I see.
Is that a thing?
No, Furbies are furries or whatever they call
Furbies are
Furries are, yeah.
Furbies are freaky. Those beak things.
Yeah, those are those creepy little toys. But furries are
Furries are.
a very unique part of our society.
Yeah.
And people who like to have sex with trees are dendrophiliacs.
Really.
Yes.
What are
The
they?
more you
Dendrophilia.
know.
Dendra. Oh, okay.
Dendrophilia.
Dendrophilia.
Everything has a label.
That's right.
Oh, that's our job. We label things. That's our human
That's
job.
our entire society now. Everybody has
So
that
as
label.
you go deeper into this mind-probing conversation
Right.
in the barn,
My head.
Draven's managed to saddle up 10 of the 11. He's tethered a stringer line for the other one to be pulled. His granddaughter will be riding with him. Everybody else gets their own ice raptor. Everybody give me animal handling as you begin to see just what this is going to take.
Can I feed my raptor a good berry?
Except
Sure, you can have advantage.
Cool.
I'm just gonna do animal friendship.
That
Gotcha.
would be 21.
21.
I'm not gonna.
It bonds pretty well to you. It accepts the food. It's stable enough for you to get up, and it kind of wobbles a bit like a tauntaun, and you feel your you feel your toes kind of extend out and curl into the kind of like stirrups that are attached to the.
Mhm.
And you're like, yeah, you got this. Seems pretty stable. It immediately falls in love with you. It just
Get on. Oh,
I have a feeling these things don't smell good.
they're pretty stinky.
Yeah.
They're pretty rank because I mean they have like lizard-like skin with strange feather coverings. Their necks are thin and come together almost in like a crocodile or alligator style undercoating of their jawline, and then they have these elongated heads. They're very aerodynamic. I mean, from what you could tell, they seem to move pretty fast out when.
It's like one of those weird puppets from Labyrinth.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Animal handling.
18.
18?
copyright TM.
Yeah. You managed to get on fine, but you're thinking that Ivory's gonna have to lope alongside.
Well, that's what she did with the horses too.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right, we head out.
So everybody's kind of like keeping their raptors under control. You all head out one by one out of the barn. You feel it first. Like a rumbling noise, like a. You kind of look out in the direction that you think it's coming from. It's the strangest thing. It's like the snow is coming up and rippling towards you off in the distance.
I think we have some trouble coming.
Draven and the others have already kicked into their raptors, and the raptors are taking off down the road.
Draven.
I'm taking off down the road with Draven.
Okay.
Give me persuasion, see if they can hear you.
Oh, are they going towards it?
No, they're
Oh.
going down the road.
so
It's
they're
coming
going
from the forest line.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
But you're the only one that knows because of your tremor sense and blind sense.
Mm.
You felt the tremor, and then as you turn, you get the sensation that the land is rolling towards you.
Okay. I believe we're about to be overwhelmed. There's lots of them coming. I think we have to book.
how many lots?
You
Let's
guys
run.
kind of,
It's-
yeah, you kind of, as she's saying this, you look beyond her, you don't see anything.
It is like the entire earth is moving. It is coming.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, raptors take off. You guys are trundling down the road, and
What's their speed?
they move 60. Their run speed is 120. Their glide speed is 50.
Oh, the glide. That's
So they
cool.
can run, jump in the air, glide for 50 feet.
I would. Get
I'm
them
gonna.
quick. Who's running? Go, go, go.
I
Yeah,
know, but
everyone's just kind
but
of
Ivory
going
can't
down the
run
road
that
at this
fast.
point.
But Ivory can't run that fast.
What's fast as she can run?
Her run speed's 40.
If she's sprinting, she can run 80, right?
I mean, she could keep up a pretty. What's her con?
13.
Give me a con save. We'll see how long she can maintain a sprint.
Oh, darn.
Oh, she rolled a 3.
Okay, Sam Regal.
No, I'm gonna cast reduce
Okay.
on her and have her jump up in my arms.
Yeah, that's easy. She's now the size of a small cat and
Yep.
jumps up in your arms.
Yep.
I was like, oh no, eat it, eat it.
Darn, I thought one day just I want to see a pet destroyed. Like, no, it can't come back. No.
We already did, remember?
No, you can't even find blood.
Her cat
It's
ate
gone
it.
forever.
Her cat ate the original fox, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
That's
already
true.
happened.
I know.
You've
No,
already-
that wasn't a pet.
It was a pet.
It was a pet.
No,
I was
It's your
gonna keep
pet.
it.
it wasn't a pet. It was a dissection thing.
I was gonna keep
It
it.
was a
I was really.
sample.
I was a sample of that
I was gonna keep
species
it.
that I was going to
It was an
dissect.
ample sample.
That I
I
was
was
going to
gonna keep it.
vivisect,
I
but
was
your
gonna keep it.
your
Ivory ate it.
your ivory got to it first.
We should go buy another one.
It's a liar. You're gonna eat it.
So I'm gonna
They
say
gave me the idea.
Fair
say-
point.
as we're running, like, and say to Jerry, "Don't forget to probe the ice raptor."
Well, these ice raptors are infected with those bugs. I just didn't want to tell you until now. No, I'm just kidding.
You suck, Jerry.
About an hour of hard riding later, you guys are back in town. You're cruising
Thought
through
you
the
said
middle
we
of
were-
town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
you're-
said we were only half an hour away.
yeah, but you kind of slowed down, cast a spell on
Mhm.
Ivory, got reorganized. You're not proficient in these, or you're not well skilled in writing these things. So it was a bit
Okay.
of
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
struggle and go.
Okay.
Had they been horses, a half hour definitely, but
Right.
It's only a
getting
mile.
used to these creatures, it's a bit rough. But after about an hour, you're making your way through the middle of.
If it's only a mile away,
You know what I
mean,
should have
this town
done?
is in danger. Those
I just
things are
thought
so
about it. You know what I
loud.
should have done?
Mm.
I should have probed that horse blood.
Such an ass. She's so gonna beat you.
We should probably warn We should probably warn the people in charge here that there might be a problem coming.
You guys are back in Gawick.
Yeah, we need to warn people.
You have 11 of the 12 raptors. As you approach towards the guild house, Aaron's standing there. It's now on to afternoon at this point. This consumed almost the entire morning getting there, dealing with it, getting back. Aaron's standing there with his arms crossed, watching you come without wagons, without horses.
As we get there, the hour is up. Ivory's gonna jump down and go behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tricked out. Why my wagons? And why are you riding my ice raptors?
Well, there. We should talk inside.
We might want to get Dorsey or maybe Owen here as well. Lord Owen.
We should talk
Of
inside.
Galwick.
Why?
Because we might have a problem.
There was an attack at Draven's farm.
That's why we have Draven with us.
He looks
The
past
same-
you to see Draven and his
Do you
family,
remember-
and then the three brother drovers getting down. He's like,
Yeah,
"What do you mean an
remember.
attack?"
You remember the wolves and the thing that we pulled out of its head?
Yeah, same thing,
Bigger.
But big.
bigger.
Like 6 to 8 feet long, tall.
Well, how was that?
I don't know.
That doesn't seem possible.
Maybe they're eating and growing.
Well, I
They ate our horses.
ate the horses.
There was nothing but blood.
Nothing, no scraps left. They didn't eat the
Hey.
X-Raptors, though.
Let's go inside.
That's what I
Talk.
said.
There's a lot of people staring at us right now because
You asked.
Because
We're
we're riding
riding-
Ice Raptors.
Jerry.
I'm gonna hand the reins to the. I'm gonna hand the
Well,
reins
he
to the
did.
drovers.
He kept asking probing questions.
Feel like a little vessel in the corner of his eye
Yeah,
kind of pulsing.
It bursts.
He's about the purple rage.
he dies of an aneurysm.
Yeah, he's like, "Brr." Then he just carries around a chalkboard and like tries to draw what he wants to say on it.
You're terrible. Was I too loud?
Like that Brad Pitt movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you guys get ushered into the Azure Hammer Guild Hall. Aaron quickly takes you down a hallway you hadn't used before and opens up a door. Get in here now. And ushers you and Draven and the drovers, everybody into the room, closes the door. There's chairs and tables everywhere, almost like this is like a meeting hall or
Just
something.
explain what happened.
Yeah.
Can
Over
I
the next
stay kind of by a window or something, just to kind of peer out what I can, observe
Sure.
what I can?
Yeah.
Something that, because I feel like they're still coming, because I'm the one that sensed them come chasing after us.
fair point.
How long were they following us for, Willa?
Would I know that?
You don't necessarily have a sense of them now.
Yeah.
You get the feeling that they were coming at you from the forest line when you were back at Draven's Ranch,
Mhm.
but you got no sense of them now.
Like,
You don't know if that's because you
outran
ran them or something else happened or you're too far. You're not really sure.
I'm uncertain, Jade.
So we take an next. Everybody kind of.
Yeah, it takes like a half an hour for the entire story to kind of get ushered out towards Aaron. Aaron's just standing there like listening and kind of intently looking and, well, what do we do?
I would.
I mean, I was on board with not saying anything about the campsite and what happened to the Tawny family because that's a little bit more.
Political.
The what?
Political.
Well, a little bit. Also, it's a little bit more terrifying when you can't actually see something happen to you. And without a proper explanation, I didn't want to be responsible for panicking the town. I mean, you still work for a pretty important guild. And they can't use that kind of negative circumstance, to say the least.
Someone's awake.
Is he staring up at you?
Yes. Big beautiful eyes.
I'm just saying, if what your tree friend says is true, when she sensed more of them coming after you when you left, do we make the assumption that they're going to target this town? Is Galwick threatened by these things?
Well, they were amongst our caravan.
I think what they're doing is just
And why didn't they eat the raptor?
That is curious.
maybe they're only, well, so I have this one.
All right, leans. What is that?
That's the one that came
That's-
out of the
This
wolf.
is the
Remember?
one. This is one that came out of a wolf.
We showed him these before.
Yeah, but I wasn't really paying attention. I was just kind of humoring you.
Now that
He takes it and it, like it attacks the edge of the glass and its tail comes out. Draven? Draven goes, yeah, oh, a little bit like this. Lot bigger. Lot bigger. But you notice this one only has 6 legs. The ones that we dealt with had 8.
They're
I didn't
evolving.
think about that.
I think they're evolving depending on what creatures they eat. Remember the wolf that the leader of the
back,
wolf pack that attacked the town.
Yeah.
It had a very large one in its brain, way larger than
You
this.
think they adapt their organism, like what they are, to what their host is? And they're adapting.
And I feel like the ones that attacked the people in the caravan that we took care of yesterday were more intelligent than the ones that were in the wolves. I think they're learning. I think they're growing. I think they're highly adaptable species that can
But the
adapt to the
Tawnies-
size.
The Tawnies were in a starting location, were they not? They were.
Yes.
They were after our time was done on the frontier. They were as far away from what we thought where most of these things were. I mean, Hafeld is 4 or 5 days from here. Now, if they fell ill with these insects back then, there's something missing. How did they get infected? Where did those ones come from? That's almost 2 days' ride from the boundary of the Devil's Grin.
Well, these originated from possibly 3 weeks ago. Now, when I talked to them when the mage came through the town,
Mm-hmm.
the wolf town, they said he came through about 3 weeks prior to that.
That was this town,
Right.
right?
No,
The mage came through Galwick.
no. They
The one
came-
you dealt. Well, which?
Okay. So when I had that thought image from the
Mm.
wolf,
Oh,
I
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
to the mayor. The mayor said when I described the mage
Yeah.
and the 2 ogres.
Well,
He
you had
said
the
they
you had
went
the
through-
mental scry effect with the hive mind.
Right. But
Um,
when I talked to, let me see if I can find it.
Let me see your map.
when you talk to the mayor
Can
of
you print me one? Can you print me one?
yeah, well, I just need to be home long enough to do it. Haven't been home.
So he said 3 to 4 days ago, he mage of the Golden Raven, Staga, Red Eye, human, and he went to the ruins of the old temple near Bulwark Mines.
yeah, and that would have been just outside of Luga.
Yeah. So
You're like, now you're thinking of timelines, and you're like,
does it?
let's go. That's beginning to make sense from a timeline perspective. And Aaron goes, so these Golden Raven mages were looking for these temple ruins outside of Luga.
Mm-hmm.
That was some 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. So whenever it said 3 to 4 days prior to the attack of the wolves.
So that would put it about a week and a half ago. Well, they would have had to come from somewhere. I don't know that guild name, though. It doesn't sound familiar to me. I'll have to do some research on that. But
But they unleashed those. They accidentally, I believe, unleashed
I think
those.
they accidentally did it.
They opened the doors and millions of them came out. And then several large ones came out along with them. And they all think
You mentioned that
they
the
have a
mage-
hive mind. Do you understand what that is?
Kind of. Yeah, it's very insect-based. The idea that the group is the organism. They all respond to a central intelligence within the organism.
Right.
Jerry, You mentioned that these things killed the mage that released them too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting that you were able to see that.
They could have taken him over for all I know.
That's an interesting point.
And now they understand. If they were to take over a mage, they would understand magic, as you know it here.
Well, if the creatures took over the Tawnies, they could have been unleashed throughout the interior empire of Othanzia. The Tawny family is quite powerful, and
I believe this is an infestation. I don't know if we will be able to
well, the real question is,
keep them back. That many of them.
well, here's the question I have for you. What do you know of hive mind mentality? Do you kill the hive mind that keeps it together, causing them to disperse out and then
Possibly.
no longer be under centralized control?
You said that they don't look like they can reproduce or eat or defecate. Or they can't defecate is what it was. They do eat.
Like something about their biology is unique.
So they wouldn't
Their
reproduce
etymology is unique.
if you destroyed their hive mind, they wouldn't be able to reproduce anyways.
So we
Maybe.
could go back to that mine, but there could be quite a few of them there.
Or so dispersed, I believe that they've counted all the nearby threats. That small group of 3 individuals wouldn't be seen.
I can be stealthy sometimes.
Perhaps a well-equipped small force.
4. Sorry, I forgot about Ivory. I'm sorry.
She's so small right now.
No, she got
She
bigger.
we
Yeah.
Probably need someone to stay back to control everything. To keep
a little bit of Jerry's craving is
to keep
creeping
in
out.
touch with whoever's out there in the field
Jerry,
to report back to
your friends need you. It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
I go invisible.
Oh,
Hey,
Jerry.
Jerry, you're our friend.
So, you're up to the task.
It needs doing.
I mean, if
My uncle had bugs. It was very hard to get rid of them.
Are
I
we?
understand.
I can imagine.
Suppose that we can do it.
I mean, if all of Eastern Othanzia is threatened by this, it's... Look, I can take care of things here. Good point. We can assume the creatures coming from Dravens could be a threat. We could also assume that whatever we've left behind us may already have been threatened or overcome.
That's a terrifying thought.
You could
It didn't
be...
take long for them to devour the horses.
We were maybe gone
I'm
10
still
minutes.
confused as to why they didn't consume the raptors, though. It's
I don't know. Maybe they
like
don't
they
like
ate.
feathers.
You described the one that they ate, and then it left immediately, but left behind almost majority of the carcass,
Well, Jerry,
and then didn't proceed to attack the other ones.
Maybe it didn't like the way they tasted.
Raptors are complex organisms. Perhaps these things can only...
The horses are complex organisms too, and it ate them whole.
Well, horses are horses to simpler organisms. What if they absorb the creature and they use that as a way to adapt themselves to our world a little bit more efficiently? It's believed that ice raptors are remnants of a pre-calamity period. They are in a state of de-evolution as opposed to a state of evolution.
so they were once more powerful.
Well, I don't think that these creatures had the ability to absorb what they are. Humanoids are simple creatures for the most part. Horses, wolves. I mean,
You
To
think the ice raptors are more complex than we are?
I don't think they're complex in the way that you're thinking.
More complex than me.
I think that the adaptive material that they require needs to be a more simplistic way for them to absorb it. I don't think these things are that smart.
Mm-mm.
I think they follow a very
Pointing to
linear
the-
pattern.
Pointing to the one in the jar. I don't think that that's smart either.
I think they follow some kind of biological existence. For all we know, that temple could have been part of a ruin that's been abandoned for millennia. She's now being rediscovered. I think a trip to Luga is required. Take a trip to the mines and discovering what these things are. Seek out the hive mind. That's what I think has to happen here.
Will you let the town know that they need
Where's
to be on their
Luca?
guard?
I will.
Back where we came. Yeah.
I will gather the guard. I will do what I can to assemble as many defenses as possible. We'll send words to the nearby communities. We'll reach out to the communities that we just recently left,
Out of
which is
character,
Shahith.
Luga is where we fought the
wolves.
The wolves,
dire wolf.
yeah.
No,
But I can
out of
send
character, but-
the wolves. But I can send word to Shahith, see how they're doing. We were just there not that long ago. I believe some of the towns and the smaller communities around here we can send word to. Pull them in over the next 24 hours.
Yeah. I'm going to ask a question, and I don't know if it's a thing or not. So I've been pretty much using plant growth at every place that we've stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Can I sense my own growth?
You feel like that's a power that you're learning how to do. You're not quite there yet. But it's a power you've been very intrigued in. I would say in your background, you know that when you're amongst your own kind in greater numbers, there is a kind of hive mind mentality with your kind. If you're amongst the tree ant societies or other dryads or other creatures of the wood, you have a natural coexistence with it. If there's enough of you, you've been able to use that kind of ability before. But it's never been one you've been able to hone towards like normal plant growth. Do you feel like if you focus on that over enough time, you might be able to figure it out? The question. Put you on ice rapids. Send you to Luga. If they don't eat or kill those, perhaps they'll automatically avoid them, giving you a free pass to at least get to Luga and find those mines.
Yeah, I like that.
And then you kind of you're not on the door. I don't know if it's very familiar looking dwarf company. Right?
Region of Luga, not Gowan.
No, not Gal, the region of Luga.
He came all the way here.
Remember?
They were part of the
Oh,
caravan.
they came with
yeah.
the caravan. Oh, okay. I thought they
Some of them
stayed.
were, some weren't.
I thought
And
they stayed back in.
Aaron, they told me that you'd be in here.
Yeah, I thought they stayed in Shahid.
Some did, some didn't. I've been riding all night. I've been hearing the reports. Strange going ons. I talking to some of the other Ajahama folk up front today. Told me you were in here with private meeting. These individuals that helped us over at Yoga. There's something I can help with because I feel like something is going on. Something dangerous. Group of us are about to make our way back to Luga and see how the conditions are there, see if we can figure out if we're going to move back.
Escort mission.
Remember when I talked to you about the mage that came through your town?
I remember that clearly.
Yes, we're gonna go. We need to go to.
We need to find the ruins.
The ruins up in the mines. The ones that the Golden Raven mages, I believe they were called.
You know where they're from?
They hail from Vasselheim. If I recall. But I knew a girl that come over from Drusa. They was called. They claimed to have specialized in potions and alchemy. And they were looking for some particular resources and matter that they thought might be in the mine. I warned them. I've only been in those mines for hundreds of years and they were abandoned. Couldn't guarantee their safety, and I wasn't going to send men and women to assist them. I wasn't going to be a part of that. We think this is where this is all coming from. Why do we think this?
So I think that's where the insect creature is.
Yeah, but if they're coming from there, why do we think this is important?
They have a hive mind.
Let's have a hive type mind. We think if we kill the
Mine.
leader or the queen or whatever is
Hey.
in that mine, that it might destroy the hive or
Well,
They might all die
disperse
without
them, or
the.
they might die.
the only way I see I can help you is ride with you back to Luga. If it's safe, we enter the town. We do have a surveyor's office in the very middle of town, near where we keep the courthouse and the jail.
Where we were fighting off the wolves.
That was the big, long guild house, but it was near that area. But I'm thinking if I can find us some maps of the region that we gotta go to and some maps of the mines, perhaps that will give us a heads up when we get to the location. I can't guarantee you the protection of my men and women when we get there, but we can certainly help with the Luga. They'll cover the maps, go from there.
Okay.
There's just one problem. We need to talk to the guy in back.
That's what we were gonna take.
No, that's what
Hey,
we
the three of you, yeah, maybe, but my people at least got horses and ponies. We were going to take.
I like to eat the ponies.
I think I see the problem. Well, early yet this evening. What do we say you and mine get together and learn how to ride ice raptors? I believe I saw some more of them that were out there, enough to fit at least 10 souls, brave enough to make their way up to Luga. Yeah. And so over the course of the next hour, you guys gather up your kit, work with the dwarves and some of the others from Luga, begin to assemble the 10 ice raptors.
Yep.
And we're going to finish with you guys taking off in the wee hours of the night.
we had 11
Back
raptors.
over,
We had 11 raptors. Did one of them go away?
well, you don't need 11. You have 3 and then 7 Lugans going with you.
We don't need an extra raptor.
And that's where we're going to finish
That was
when we
pretty
come
good.
back.
Yeah, we have a raptor for my cat.
The pets have pets. No.
The look of disappointment on his face.
Oh,
No.
I'm used to that one.
He's very visible.
No. Tell mommy no. Pets on the pets. No pets for the
When we
pets.
come back next week.
No pets for the pets.
When we come back, oh my! I love it when he wakes up from his nap and he's all happy and big old smiles and a big old yawn.
He is super awake at 10 o'clock at night.
Well, kids this age, their cycle's 3 hours. Just every 3 hours, they're a person.
You know, you can actually put yourself on a cycle like that too.
No thanks, I'm an adult.
Yeah, you can. When you don't think it's a problem, not.
But that's temporary.
His cycle would be permanent.
My cycle will be fun. Hey everybody, thanks for coming out. We'll be back on tomorrow night online for Dancing from Their Masters. I am going to be here early tomorrow to play with Tailspire some more. Make some more minis and some more maps. I think we've all got busy schedules tomorrow, don't we?
I may have to drive out to Riverside to pick up a battery for the RV.
Oh yeah, that's right. So the battery is dead on the RV, I think. Yeah, probably is. I haven't run for a while. I'm surprised.
Not since
So
COVID
thanks
started.
everybody for coming out. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, hope you had
I
fun.
believe Titan's Revival is tomorrow afternoon, correct? At noon.
And hopefully next week we have 2 more players.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll reach out to Cesare and Nick, see what they want to do about the remote, doing this remote, because we do have 2 empty chairs, so they're little piped-in theater.
Wait, can
Cameras
we
would
put
be
just
right
a
there.
screen right there?
We'll
We
get to
just
see
put a
him.
screen
We'll be
right
able to see
there.
him.
Like
Well, I mean, if we do the laptop thing again like we did before and put the laptop here so you can see them in the
Oh, that'd be
stream.
awesome.
Yeah.
we can see them, but
Yeah.
I mean, we can just put like an iPad on the back of the chair and just put their faces right there and have it in the camera.
The problem is the audio piping is so hard to manage because I just don't have the. I mean, we plugged in a decent speaker for them to be able to talk through, maybe, but it's just gonna sound so funny.
I know.
It's gonna be like Roboto Ogato, you know. So,
Hi.
but thanks everybody for coming out. We love you.
Hi.
Play
Stay
game.
safe. Be kind.
Bye.
Play
Yeah.
a game. It's
Play-
important.
Play
It's
D&D
good
with
for your
babies. It's
mental
awesome.
health.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm not saying